here we are. We're alive.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night instead of Friday night.
Still wiped out from last night, actually, kind of.
Really?
I am. I'm tired.
You slept a lot longer than I did, though.
I'm just tired.
I woke up at 7 or 7:45.
Yeah.
Because my stomach hurt, so I had to get up and I couldn't go back to sleep. So it was too hot in the room.
Why'd your stomach hurt?
I don't know.
And it was too hot in there?
Yeah, it's always too hot in there.
Yeah.
As soon as like the sun comes up, I'm always kind of like, I can't really be in the room anymore because it's too warm.
But you said that at 71. Now it's 73.
I know.
So it could be 60, and you'd probably think it was too hot.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's usually too hot in there for me.
Good.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Seems normal to me.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's actually cold in this office usually,
Yeah.
but.
So, we went to the show last night. It's pretty good. Saw Giallo Jezebel. Saw this Goth band from Texas called what is it?
Rose Garden Funeral Party.
Yeah, had this girl who was singing. I was talking to her. She wants to do business with it when it comes to graphics. It sounded good. They kind of sounded like Skeletal Family. If you guys ever heard of that, they're from Scotland, I think, right? Skeletal Family.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of sound like that.
Aren't they Scottish? Skeletal Family? DJ Maniac probably knows.
Yeah.
DJ Maniac just said not hanging out late tonight. Got a goth thing to do in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did our goth thing last night.
Right.
It was a good turnout.
Yeah.
It was actually 4 bands that were playing. I thought it was just the 2, but yeah, they had Sandman Sleeps, and then they had like another band that was local.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what they were called.
I was really only into 2 of them, but Rose Garden Funeral and fucking Giallo Jezebel.
Yeah, Rose Garden Funeral Party were really good.
Now, Giallo Jezebel only had 2 people in the band this time. It was good though. Most of it was electronics.
On the poster, I think there's 3 or 4 guys because I think that Jay said something about normally there'd be
3
or 4 of them in the band, but they couldn't. Some of them couldn't come to some dates for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why.
Yeah.
So it was just 2 guys.
It was like an intimate jam session.
Yeah, it was kind of.
Played some old stuff. Fucking sang fucking The Cow. Fucking Desire.
Always a Flame.
Always a Flame.
Motion of Love.
Yeah, Motion of Love, yeah.
But then he did some other ones that I didn't know.
Yeah. They were good.
Well.
They were okay.
He sounds exactly the same.
Sounds exactly the same.
I wonder how old he is.
I don't know, 60 maybe?
He's got to be, I suppose. Yeah. We talked to him a little bit after.
Yeah,
because he hung around. He was like, he was super nice.
He's funny.
Yeah, I didn't realize because I'd never seen them live before. But it's like, he was cracking jokes like all the fucking time. He was like pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, some of the other bands were playing, and he's fucking back in the little back room where the merch was, fucking looking at his fucking phone like that with his little hat. He looks like something out of fucking Fields of the Nephilim.
Yeah, he looked. he did look a little bit like Fields of the Nephilim.
How you doing, Mr. Aston? Fucking nice to meet you. Fucking, I got the first albums, fucking Immigrant and Discover. I got them when they came out, man. I grew up with your fucking music. He says, I want to thank you for your work. He says, oh, well, thank you. He's friendly, you know. Good. And he goes, hopefully it's going to be a good show. I don't mean to, I hope I don't disappoint you. And I says, no, I'm just here to see you. Thank you, and all that kind of stuff. And then
he seemed really nice.
Yeah, and after the show, we were fucking talking to him and stuff. He's pretty cool. A lot of people a lot of old gurus had to talk to him about music, I guess, you know. Which probably bores him, but, he does it anyway.
I talked to him a little bit about Wales because the band is Welsh, and I was like, oh, I knew where that.
Yeah, he's from where I'm from.
Yeah, well, I knew. That's why I asked him about it. He said he was from Porthcawl, and I was like, oh, I've been there. Yeah. I think he was like kind of surprised about that. I actually went to Porthcawl one time because my ex-mother-in-law was friends with Steve Strange's mom, and Steve Strange's mom lived in Porthcawl, and we went there to visit her. I can't remember, which I'm sure she's probably dead now. Well, Steve Strange is dead too, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he died kind of young. I have his autobiography, Blitzed, which is actually really good. Oh, bless you, sweetie.
Imagine a lot of people have no idea what we're talking about.
What else is new?
Yeah. So let's see how many people are in now. Okay, yeah, they're all starting to come in. DJ Maniac says it hasn't gone over 70 today in New York.
Lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, Maniac said he saw Rose Garden Funeral Party. It's great.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good. I think that was the first time I'd seen them. Was it? Maybe I thought they were at Absolution last year, but maybe they were maybe they performed on a day that we weren't there. Because Absolution was 3 days, and we only went the one day that A Starry Night were there, so they must not have been the same.
He said an elephant murdered a woman, then showed up to her birthday, her funeral to make sure she's dead.
Can we talk about that elephant that murdered a woman and then showed up at her funeral to make sure?
I never heard of that.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what the fuck. Maybe something like that happened.
Is this some new meme or something?
I heard the craziest shit today. Fucking, it's like in the news in England. An entire parachute battalion, fucking fucking British airborne battalion, got caught. They snuck a woman into the barracks and they were having a big orgy with her. Just one woman, a whole battalion. I guess I don't know how this happened. The video's got to be out there somewhere.
I mean, was she like a willing participant?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. And they
more power to her, man.
Videos of it. And
I'll take y'all on.
Yeah. And to punish the battalion, they wouldn't let them go on the fucking Kosovo mission. Kosovo training mission, which just, I'm just like, what the fuck are they talking about? I don't know what the fuck's going on in England, man. Our military's fucked up too, okay? You punish a unit by denying it training? Who the fuck's in charge of that place?
Well, it's almost just kind of like when you fuck up at school and they're like, and they suspend you.
They suspend you.
Stay home and play video games. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? First of all, in my day, they never would have punished us for something like that. They just would have went, yeah, good job. You know, you guys are all porn stars. They just would have laughed it off, But then, man, if they tried to punish us, they would go, no, okay, instead of fucking denying you the Kosovo training mission, we're going to send you 3 times in a row. Fucking, so you're gonna be out there for 18 months, you stupid bitches. You gotta need retraining. They just increase training, not decrease it. I've never heard of fucking any shit like that. Because you'd just be fucking up to get in trouble to get out of training.
Well, yeah, that's
what you just continue to fuck up. No, so I don't understand that. Somebody in England can explain that to me.
Slasher Fred says, one of these days, you should watch and review the 1993 horror comedy movie, My Boyfriend's Back. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember that being, pretty funny. We should actually get around to that. You know what's interesting? I actually got to add some different movies to the Patreon poll this weekend because I discovered that... You remember when I had to up my phone plan because we had to, stream from the phone a couple times, as a mobile hotspot? When I upgraded my phone plan, they gave me HBO Max for free. So now I have HBO Max, which means on the Xbox we can download the app and we can watch movies and shit on there. And I looked on there the other day and they have a fuck ton of stuff. Okay. They have a bunch of horror stuff that isn't on other streaming services, which is nice.
So it's a streaming service. You watch it when you want to see it, not when they tell you. It's not like old HBO.
No, nothing's like that anymore.
Yeah, that would suck. You're like, no thanks.
Even the free shit like Pluto and stuff, you can either watch live TV or you can go over and just watch whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? On demand.
No, they're saying it was all on the news that this elephant killed some chick and then showed up at her theater to make sure she was dead. And they said that the fucking elephant was keeping it real.
What did she do to the elephant?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Did she maybe have an umbrella stand that was made out of the elephant's dad's foot or something? You remember those umbrella stands back? Yeah. I feel like that was was that a Victorian thing?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Why would you want that?
They didn't want to waste any part of the elephant. They turned everything into some kind of a fucking what do you call it?
Leave the elephants alone.
Turned into some kind of souvenir. Yeah, but the elephant
They should step on more people.
Yeah.
Clearly, some people need it. They should fucking rampage more. All those circus
pretty
elephants.
Smart.
They are. That's what I'm saying.
The elephant probably knew that she was dead.
It's just coming to. I came to pay my respects.
They know what dead things are. They go and pick up bones of dead relatives. They'll have dead relatives out in a certain graveyard that they'll put them where they die.
Yeah, they have elephant graveyards. They're like I said, they're really
They'll
smart.
go down there to die, and then they go out there fucking on their way to the water holes and visit the dead, which is kind of weird. And they get kind of fucking. They say they act kind of spooky.
Yeah, they're
overturning
all,
the bones,
lamenting.
Yeah.
They're like,
that they know that it's a dead.
That's Betty.
And they know who it is.
I remember Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. Didn't we watch some video like a while back of some people and they got like their Jeep or something like was like stuck in a mud hole and an elephant came and like helped them get it out.
Yeah, they do stuff like that.
Just like, hey, you guys need some help. And it's like was helping them like push it out of the fucking mud.
Well, people help get their children out of mud holes and stuff too.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is it? Murder Hornet Return says, in boot camp, we was in boot camp in formation and heard a girl screaming. The company behind us, a drill sergeant yelled out, shut the fuck up. Come to find out she was being raped. That's nice.
I don't believe that.
Why not?
Where was this?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and get raped.
Yeah.
Thanks.
He must not have known about it.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope not, or he's like the most callous sumbitch ever.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Let's see. Slasher Fred said there was a TV series I remember watching called When Animals Attack. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Wasn't that was just on like a regular like network TV, I thought. One of those kind of fucking... Didn't that have that one where that kid like fell into the gorilla cage or...
Yeah, they shot the gorilla. What's his name? His name was Harambe.
That's right. I remember that.
He's pulling the kid around. I don't know if he would hurt the kid though. They just couldn't take the chance.
I guess not. It didn't look like he was gonna hurt him, but
no, he just couldn't figure out what to do with him.
Yeah, he's like, "What's this thing in here?" Did you guys lose this?
Although gorillas are assholes too, even though they're more chilled out than chimps. They had a damn domestic cat that fell into the dam with the gorillas, and that gorilla just picked it up by the base of the tail and looked it and threw it.
Yay!
Yeah, they were like disgusted. They didn't want to touch it, but they kept running up and throwing it. It finally. People told the zoo people that there was a cat in there, and they hit the siren and then opened up the gates, feeding time, and all the gorillas ran indoors. They're like, fuck it, yeah, let's go inside. And the cat was underneath a log, an artificial log that they had there, and the girls went down there and got it and brought it out. The cat was fucking terrified.
Well, yeah.
The cat ran right to two people. But
help!
ran away from the fucking gorillas. Yeah.
I don't like these big hairy people.
Yeah, they trapped it in a corner. You can see it on YouTube.
No thanks.
It's called
I'm not gonna watch
Gorilla
that.
versus Cat. There's one of them on there. That. They trapped it in a corner, and it's sitting there trying to get as small as it possibly can. They walk up, and pick it up by the tail, and fucking throw it.
Oh no!
They were treating it like it was a mouse or a rat, something dirty. Like ugh.
Maybe that's what they thought it was because it was little.
Yeah. What was the size? It was bigger than Pookie. About the size of Pookie.
So
Cat was trying to play dead.
Oh man. See, at least they can't do that to Pookie because she doesn't have a tail.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not taking her to a zoo or anything like that.
Well, just
you hear me, Pookie?
They mainly just walk in.
Yeah.
Domestic animals and shit will just walk in, and
yeah, I guess so.
It was walking. It was walking across the wall that separated the gorilla event to another event. So it was walking across the top.
Oh, okay.
And it came down. Came down in the habitat.
Like,
for some reason.
See what's going on down here. Oh no!
Yeah.
I've made a terrible.
I have a feeling the gorillas weren't in the habitat when it came down.
Yeah, maybe not.
And then they let the gorillas out, and then the cat was
What
trapped.
is that little thing?
Yeah.
No.
They just saw it in there and were like, "What the fuck is that?" But they were those same gorillas were throwing raccoons around. They killed the raccoon. A couple of them.
Maybe those gorillas were just dicks.
They just killed anything that was in the habitat when they came in. Raccoons would make their way in there. People in the audience would catch it on with their phones.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just jerks because they didn't like being in captivity, or maybe those were just like asshole gorillas in general.
No, I just think that gorillas know that things aren't supposed to be in their habitat in there.
Well, remember that one gorilla, Coco, that had a pet kitten.
Yeah.
All ball. That was also a Manx.
They were just killing anything that was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was in there, they'd kill it.
That's fucked up.
Or try to.
That's fucked up.
Throwing it around.
So I guess that's why they had to end up like killing Harambe or whatever about that kid falling in there. Although, like I said, it didn't look like he was gonna hurt the kid. But I guess, like you said, you can't really take the chance. That's just like really shitty. That was a shitty situation.
Look like he was playing with the kid.
Yeah.
Pulling it across the water.
Wee!
Yeah. Kid was crying and he's looking. Just looking in the kids' clothes. What is this thing?
What is the stuff that you're wearing?
Yeah.
Why aren't you
They
naked?
knew it was a
like
person.
an
They
ape?
see people.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
didn't
like
know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Supposed to do this thing. Yeah.
Shaking it shit. John Gore said, I used to have an awesome original creep show one sheet with that Bernie Wrightson art. I traded it in high school for a pack of smokes, sadly. Don't you wish you had that back? You know what they had when we were in FYE the other day where I got this shirt? They actually had like that book that they put out when Creepshow came out that was like the comic that had all of the stories in it. And I kind of wanted it, but it was like $30, and I was like, well, I can't really afford that. But it was so pretty. Camp Guy said, look up YouTube Rat Terrier, where they have these small dogs that will catch rats and shake them to death. Yeah, that's right. I've heard about that. That's what they bred them to do that, isn't it? Like to go catch rats and shit like that. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. All right, so Tom needs to really like perk up a little bit. You need some caffeine or something?
No, alcohol.
You need alcohol?
Yeah.
You drank quite a bit last night.
Yeah. I'll make a comeback.
I'll make a comeback.
Yeah. It's gonna take time.
I was trying to stick to like low calorie last night. I just drank some fucking White Claws.
Yeah.
I didn't even get any hard liquor.
Yeah.
And they were cheaper too. And they're only 100 calories per can.
I still spent $100 last night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I only spent 25.
Between gas and everything else, I spent about 100.
And then we stopped at
Circle K. Got microwave food. I got a microwave.
Well, I didn't.
Burrito.
I got just like a cold chicken sandwich.
I got a microwave red burrito.
Because I was like, I don't really want it. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to deal with microwave.
They want $3 for those bitches. When I was a kid, they were 99 cents. They want $3 for them.
I think some places they're still 99 cents, or they used to be not too long ago.
Yeah, and then they had like a McRib sandwich in there. Microwaved it. Good. It was good. It rolled up in a paper sack type of thing, and the burrito was in a plastic bag. I just ripped the end of the plastic bag and fucking kept the shit in the fucking plastic sack, the carry sack.
Yeah.
I threw the whole thing in the microwave.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I just went upstairs. I didn't know what you were doing down there.
Put 3 minutes on it. Came back in. That shit was fucking piping hot. Too hot. I had to unwrap the fucking rib sandwich and let it air out. She was fucking sweaty.
Sweaty ass
It's sweaty.
Ew.
It dried out though. The thing is it didn't have any barbecue sauce on it. I have a shit ton of barbecue sauce. I should have put barbecue sauce on it and pickles. And hot sauce.
Yeah, I mean,
But I wasn't thinking.
It is just like a Circle K.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about it is
it was as good as a McDonald's fucking McRib, but it didn't have any sauce on it.
Yeah.
It'd have been the same if it had sauce.
It's funny because, and we've talked about this before, I kind of feel like convenience store food used to be real bottom of the barrel. But even the rural Circle K, but actually we have 2 Circle Ks. Like they're right across the street from each other. It's like a New York Starbucks situation.
That way you don't have to make a U-turn.
Yeah, you could just
fuck all that
one or that
U-turn.
one.
Come on.
Now the one on our side is a little bit bigger and it has a Subway in it. But the other one is like, But yeah, so you go in there and they had like all kind of nice looking sandwich. I was gonna get a Cuban sandwich. And then I was like thinking about it and I was like, well, that looks kind of big, and also it was like $6. And I was like, I don't think I can eat all that. So I ended up just getting like a little bitty, like I think it was just chicken and cranberry or something like that. So I got one of those. And that was not too bad. Although maybe it tasted fine, but then like this morning I had like a really bad stomachache, so I was like, I wonder if I got food poisoning, but maybe not. Maybe it wasn't that. I don't think it was that.
Nope.
Because it tasted like totally
fine.
Food
poisoning, you'd be throwing up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I was just kind of like, man, must have just been... Maybe it was just all the carbonation from the White Claw or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know what the fuck it was. Slasher Fred said, there is a 90s TV horror movie called Strays that is like The Birds, except it has cats. I heard about that, but I don't think I've ever seen it. It's almost kind of like... Didn't we do that Stephen King... That was a Stephen King adaptation, right? Sleepwalkers?
Oh, man.
And it wasn't really about, like, the people were... What the fuck were they? Werewolves? Vampire? I don't remember. Whatever. It was a dumb movie. But, they were like really, really scared of cats. So they always had all the cats like sitting on their lawn. And remember there was that one scene where there was like all the dead cats like hanging from trees and shit like that, and I was just like traumatized.
They were like were-cats, weren't they?
Yeah, or something. I guess they were supposed to be were-cats. Yeah. Then why were they scared of cats? You'd think the cats would be like their brethren or whatever.
Or were-bats or were-rats or something. It was dumb.
It was dumb. It was. Wasn't there one with dogs called the Pack? Yeah, I think there's probably been more than one, I would imagine. Yeah, Danny Rowling said they were shape-shifting cat humanoids.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't like cats because cats were like competition.
The cats were calling them out.
Yeah,
not being fakes.
You guys are peoples. You can't be cool like cats.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, Camp Guy's talking about how good Cuban sandwiches are. Yeah, I was like, that's kind of why when I was in there, like, looking at all the sandwiches they had, I was like, ooh, I haven't had a Cuban sandwich in a long time.
Yeah, that stuff that they have at Circle K, it doesn't sit there for long. It's, you know what I mean, those sandwiches, I think they can only be there for, like, fucking 48 hours, and they're refrigerated. So they're okay. And if you look at them, fucking, they go like hotcakes.
Well, yeah, because
they sell out fast.
I kind of feel like
workers buy 'em.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like farm workers and stuff like that around here, so there's always like people stopping there like getting sandwiches and donuts and shit like that in the morning. You know what? I don't think they have. I don't know. I haven't really looked around too much in there. I don't think they have like the big like coffee bar kind of situation like they have in 7-Eleven.
I was looking in there though, man. They had breakfast sandwiches, and I'm like, okay, well, fuck McDonald's. I'll just stop here. And
honestly, the 7-Eleven, I used to get breakfast sandwiches sometimes at the 7-Eleven that was by my work, and those were actually really, really good.
Yeah, you could get 2 for $5.
Like especially the one that was like like eggs and sausage like on a croissant. Ooh, that shit was delicious.
They had them, and most of them were gone.
Yeah,
there was like only one or two left. I was like, I almost got one of those, but then that McRib started calling me. You know,
I don't get the appeal of the McRib, the McDonald's one. I think it's, and you know, maybe it's just, I know everybody has different taste buds and stuff, but I think I've maybe had one or two my entire, I'm not a big barbecue sauce person anyway, but I think it's mostly because it's limited time, so everybody like gets all jacked like when it's out, because it's not really all that good. It's not, I mean, it's not bad, it's just not really all that special, you know what I mean?
Oh, Brian's here. What's up, Brian?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up? I just kind of feel like, I don't know, like McDonald's having that, and then like the Shamrock Shake.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it's limited. What flavor is the Shamrock Shake supposed to be? Is it mint?
It's mint.
Is it mint? Okay.
Mint. Yeah. It's good.
I love mint stuff, but I was always kind of like weirdly grossed out by the Shamrock Shake. I don't know why. You'd think that I would love that kind of stuff, because mint chocolate chip is one of my favorite ice cream flavors.
Murder Hornet says Mexico has a rip-off 7-Eleven. It has the same logo and everything. It's called 7 Select.
Nice.
Yeah. I've seen that one, 7 Select. I've seen it. I thought it was 7-Eleven. I thought it was just a Mexican 7-Eleven. But it's a ripoff.
It's not owned by the same company?
Yeah, I thought it was owned by the same company, like a license. I thought it was the same company, just a Mexican rendition of it. But I may be wrong, because I've seen it. It looks like a 7-Eleven. Exactly.
Everybody talks about how fancy the 7-Elevens are in Japan.
Yeah, you can pay your taxes there.
You can do like everything in there.
You can get married at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, you can like hang out in there. There's one like
have your birthday
every
party.
block. Yeah, it's like a whole big thing, and like they have sushi. They have like all this really really super good food, and it's like holy crap.
Well, it had a different path of evolution in Japan.
Yeah,
it's not what it is to us. To us, it's just a damn dime store.
I mean, and the thing about it is that in Japan, that is actually the definition of convenience store. That is convenient. You can get every fucking thing in there. Yeah. Shit, man. Do they have like a tailor? You can get your clothes tailored. No, I'm just making that up. Get your dry cleaning.
Go get a rub down and a happy ending and shit.
Right. It's like, you can get everything at 7-Eleven, everything. Get your car detailed. Mm. You know what I mean? Just roll it on in here. Yeah. Brian asked, Tom and Jenny, have you seen Mad God on Shudder?
No, it's supposed to be good.
I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, you're like the second or third person that's recommended it.
It's good.
Yeah, it looked super cool. That was like one of the ones that that I wanted to watch. It's stop motion animation, I think.
I don't know.
I
just saw a poster for it.
Yeah, I think it's stop motion animation. Okay. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you're the second or third person that has recommended that. So we'll definitely maybe we can watch it tonight. We for the matinee show tomorrow, we'll probably talk about The Last Duel because Dermot or one of our patrons sent me money to buy it, so I bought it. We watched it.
It was great.
Not last night, but the night before. Yeah, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, so we can watch Mad God tonight and talk about that on Monday maybe. Camp Guy said the whole damn store is vending machines.
Where?
In Japan.
Yeah.
Where you can get a lot of wild stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It looked like a nice store to me, and with grocery store and a fucking hotel in the back. It's got fucking booths and shit. You can go in the back and a daycare center. It did. I was like,
you could just move in.
Yeah. A little fucking. You could rent a little sleeping fucking
little
tubes,
little cubby.
Yeah.
You could
But it's a pretty rural, pretty urban environment in Japan. So I guess they're centrally located. No matter where you are, there's one of them around there. So they try to offer everything, So it makes sense there. You couldn't do that here. You'd lose your ass.
Although I have to say that, especially in the last decade or so, I've often been surprised at what stuff you can get at a 7-Eleven. That you wouldn't think that...
Yeah, there's stuff there.
That you would be able to get. Yeah, like sometimes I was like, oh my god, they have empty gas cans, and they have they had all kind of stuff that I wasn't expecting them to have.
Did you get your oil changed? Battery?
Yeah, not quite. Yeah. Maybe in the Japan one.
Yeah.
But, Danny Rolling said, nowadays you got fast food workers peeing in the milkshake machines. No thank you on that. Do they really? Why would you go to all the trouble of peeing in the milkshake machine?
Well, anything can happen anywhere. You just got to be careful where you are.
I'm not too worried about
That's probably some fucked up areas. I mean, some of these cities are just fucked up. Yeah.
Brian says sometimes the pizzas are good at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had... Oh no, I have. I was gonna say I don't think I've ever bought a 7-Eleven pizza, but I think somebody went over where I worked one time and got one, and gave me a piece, and it was actually pretty good. But some of their other shit, I used to go over there all the time and they had breakfast sandwiches, they had just regular lunch sandwiches, they had little cheese and nut plates, little trays that you could have for breakfast, and with little dried fruit and stuff like that. So they had all kind of shit like that.
The way cities are evolving is a trip, especially around here. I mean, a lot of the clubs left from the downtown, or the clubs that we went to, left from downtown, and they're all moving out into the suburbs. And they're building downtown, and they threw up a huge building just in the time that me and Jenny weren't there for a couple months. I don't remember that fucking building. It's a fucking 8-9 story building, and then you come up on it, and it was a parking structure. It looked like a huge fucking skyscraper, just out of nowhere.
I mean, it hasn't been that well.
We're like, what the fuck
when
is
was
that?
the last time? Well, the last time we went down there was Memento Mori, but we didn't go on I-4 though, did we? No, we just took the toll road right to OBT. We hadn't been down there
We hadn't taken that road in about a month or so.
Yeah, so we haven't been on I-4. Last night we had to go on I-4 but only for 10 minutes or something, for 4 miles.
Huge ass building just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, wait, that looks I don't recognize
I remember that thing. It was 8-9 stories, big. It was a huge parking garage.
Yeah, it was and it had this big glass front. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was a parking garage that was camouflaged to look like a skyscraper. You get up on it and you say, oh, okay, that's a parking garage. But at first glance, it looks like a glass skyscraper.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And it makes you wonder, well, what are they building all that shit for? I thought everybody's working from home, all this online stuff. But I guess there are people that live downtown still in that area. Yeah. It's apartment complexes, huh?
Yeah, probably. There's probably a lot of apartment complexes around there. Maybe there's not enough parking for everybody, I would imagine.
Is there work downtown, though?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any work. It's just, we don't know how any of this shit works anymore. I imagine a lot of people don't know how this shit works anymore. I mean,
we sound like old people.
Like, what?
I don't know how anything works anymore.
I don't know how because there used to be there's restaurants down there.
Yeah, there's lots of restaurants. Actually,
they're still there.
Actually, a lot of them, they've opened some new ones.
It's just the only thing that's really downtown in Orlando that has to do with jobs per se would be banks. Lots of fucking banks.
Yeah, there's big bank buildings.
And they're just bank buildings, and I think they're mostly empty.
Well, no, because you can rent out office space in there. So a lot of other businesses probably have office spaces in there too. It's not just all the bank offices. Okay. They don't need all that fucking room.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
They make a lot of their money by renting office space out to like other companies.
You could put a bank on a phone now. I'm sure a cell phone could run a fucking multi-fucking billion-dollar transnational bank. You could probably just run it because it's all electronic. So I imagine a phone is probably powerful enough to run the whole operation.
Murder Hornet says, how old is the oldest goth you know at the club? Ooh. 50s.
Well, yeah,
mid-50s, late 50s.
Yeah, they start aging out. They just stop showing up, a lot of them.
But the ones that still come out, we know some that are at least 55, 56, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a couple that are older, but I can't remember.
They had some show up last night to the show, and you know they're old goths, but they're not dressing it anymore. But they know the fucking music, and they're all family people now.
Yeah.
They look like family people. Look like somebody's mom and dad.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they look like.
Which is funny.
They had one dude who, he was probably about 5 years older than me, and he was jacked. He was on the sauce. And he was looking good, man. And fucking with his Bauhaus t-shirt on and fucking all that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that
guy. Yeah. You can tell he's just an old goth guy.
Yeah.
But haven't seen that dude at the club. He just showed up for the show.
Well, that seems to happen. It's almost kind of like, not always, it depends on who the show is, but usually whenever there's a concert, you always kind of have like a small core of people that go to the clubs and stuff too, but then you have like this whole bunch of other people that are all into gothy shit, but like they don't come to the clubs ever.
Yeah.
So maybe they just come out for special occasions, or maybe they don't like going to clubs. They just like the concert experience.
And you'll see some young people will show up to the shows, and they'll just be fucking death rocked out, look like something from, fancified 1981.
Which is crazy. And
some
of them are like 20.
Yeah, they're like 20, and they fucking look great. You know? And they look like, well, I can show you guys some examples. And they look like that. And then you never see them at the club. You only see them at shows. So I kind of think what the situation is that they're college students. They don't have a lot of money.
Probably.
So they can only come out to a show. And, but like, I'll give you guys an example of kind of like the style that we're talking about. It's kind of like a retro death rock look that looks great to this day. Would work real well in the clubs. It's just that they're not coming to the club. A lot of the clubs still look very kind of industrial.
That's probably that might be some of the reason why they don't come to it, because and that was kind of one of the things that I always had issue with back when I was going to the castle and stuff like that, like in the early to mid 2000s, was that I was kind of more like a post-punk death rock kind of person, and pretty much all they played was, industrial, synth pop, EBM, all that kind of stuff, which is okay, but I'm not really a huge fan of that. So,
Pookie's coming over here to say hi.
What's up, Pookie? Hi. Hi, baby. She's down by my little feet. What are you doing? What are you doing? Getting in trouble? You getting in trouble?
Camp Guy said Mellow Mushroom today, large specialty pizza, $28 plus tax. Yeah, Mellow Mushroom, I haven't been there in a few years, but I remember it being kind of expensive. The pizza's good, though. We have a couple of them around here. Well, in Orlando. Do you remember the other day when we were talking about, I think it must have been on the last Sidetrack show, when we were talking about, like, fast food chains that weren't in some parts of the country? And I think I brought up Culver's, how everybody said Culver's was really good, and I said, oh, we don't even have any in Florida. We do. There's actually even one in Orlando. I didn't even know it fucking existed. There's 3 within 30 miles of here, which is fucking crazy. I never heard of that. I didn't know that they had Culver's in Florida, but I guess they do. I'll have to go check it out one of these days.
That's what I'm talking about. That's kind of like the newer kind of look that's harkening back to the kind of the way it was in the 80s. Which I think is a great look.
Yeah, I mean, they had... Well, yeah, I always really liked that, to be honest. You know? Yeah, and there was some people that looked like that there last night. And then there was, like... Then there was just, like, some casual, you know, like I said, just, like, old guys with Bauhaus shirts on. And,
Yeah.
And just people in more kind of, like, casual gothy looking stuff. But you did have, like, a few that went all out. But...
This chick's got good photos. Let me see.
They're talking about hoarders.
Hoarders.
Yeah.
The program or people who
Or
are
just, I guess, in general, both things. Yeah, my grandfather was a hoarder. I think I probably mentioned that before. Camp Guy said my sister-in-law is a hoarder. My wife is wondering what we would do if she died, and I told her the real estate folks know people that will do a clean out. Yeah, it's just kind of like if you watch that fucking show, it's... Some people, like, hoard so much stuff that it's, like, even if they clean it out, they still have to, like, tear the house down because it's all, like, the floors collapsed and shit like that. Crazy.
That's another...
Yeah, that's a good...
Like a death rock kind of look. See if she's got some other ones. But she's kind of, like, trying to bring that shit back. She's been doing her homework.
Well, like I said, it seems like it's cyclical, like it comes because I remember there was like kind of a death rock resurgence like in the early to mid 2000s. You know, it wasn't huge, but you did see some of it, and it does seem like there's a little bit of that going on now too, because I'm just glad that all that Graver shit went away.
Yeah.
God, that was awful. With his big fucking pants and
yeah, I remember that shit. They were Jankos. Wearing Jankos and shit.
Fucking hell, man. That was the ugliest shit ever.
This is a great photo. Remember that look?
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's badass. I really like that.
That was the standard for a long time.
Well, yeah, that's what they look like in the 80s.
Yeah. And early 90s. You saw some of that, too.
Yeah. Robert says, Camp Guy, hoarders never think about the family. If they die, then the family got to deal with all the stuff. Yeah, they never do. And honestly, from what I've seen, like I said, I had, you know, a hoarder in my family, and if you watch the show Hoarders, most of the people on there really don't seem to think that they have a problem, and if you tell them, hey, you need to get rid of all this shit because, you know, if you croak or all this shit falls on you or something like that, then we're stuck cleaning it out. They don't really, they just see it as, this is my stuff and you can't take it away from me. It's a psychological thing. I think it's people that don't really have any control over a lot of aspects of their life, and that's kind of like the only thing they can control is like all the stuff that they have. So they get really like super attached to it. It's that, and I kind of feel like too it's some kind of weird psychological thing where they're either trying to like push people away or something. They usually have like other problems too.
Let me go make another drink.
Murder Hornet says, "Can I go to Mannequins in a polo shirt and cargo shorts and pick up on women?"
No.
Well, you could probably pick up on the normal women. That might work out.
Yeah.
That might work out. We were actually thinking about going there like after the show last night, but by the time the show actually, like I said, I thought it was only 2 bands, but it was actually 4 bands, so it actually ran kind of late. Plus, they had a couple of like sound issues and stuff like that, so a couple of the bands like took longer than they would have. So by the time it was over, it was like already 1:30 or 2, and then by the time we would have got back to Mannequins, it would have been almost closing time, so we didn't like bother, you know, because it was just, we always say we're gonna, like at the beginning of the night, it's like, oh, if the show ends early, we'll go to Mannequins after, but it always either ends up too late or we're too fucking tired. I wasn't that fucking tired, but it was too late. By the time we got there, it would have been like, we would have been there 20 minutes and they would have closed it up. Let's see. Moon pie face lady. Yeah, that was the one on Hoarders, right? The one that had the moon pie face. I remember her, and I remember, was she the same woman that was the bag shitter?
Yeah, she was somehow shitting in bags.
the bag shitter. I mean, it's one thing to like, okay, if your toilet's broken, you can't afford to fix it, is shit in a bag. But it's like to keep the bags.
Yeah, keep the bag, not throw the bag.
That's what I mean. the first thing is weird enough, but you can kind of like understand it, like under dire circumstances. But then keeping it, that's what I didn't get.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I'm like, why didn't you at least bury it or something? What?
Brian was saying, I guess he's asking me if I've seen Terror on the Prairie. No, I haven't seen it.
He says he still hasn't been able to see it.
Oh, he hasn't been able to see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's stuck behind a Daily Wire paywall.
Okay. I thought they didn't give a
screener password?
Yeah, a screen password.
Oh.
And then he also said that girl got Edward Scissorhands. Everything looks like Edward Scissorhands to you people.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything does. Because you have to understand that fucking, what's his name? Fucking Tim Burton was goth from that time.
Well, yeah.
So that he fashioned a lot of his little characters as being goth.
Stuff that he liked.
So it was that was a common look for that subculture. So people were not copying Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands was a copy of us.
Yeah. Well, that's what always kind of used to make me mad, like, after... Like, as much as I love the movie Beetlejuice, for example, but, you'd be walking around the mall in 1989, and people would be like, hey, Beetlejuice, and I'm just like, I've been dressing like this for, like, 10 years. Why?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like... Yeah, she looked awesome, but it almost seemed like they thought you were like dressing up as her because that movie had to come out. But I was like, no, I looked like this before.
Just think of how ridiculous it was. It would be if a movie came out with hippies in it back in the '60s, and you were a hippie, and people thought that you were copying a movie that had hippies in it. But no, you were a fucking hippie. The movie was about hippies. It's like, it's like that.
It's kind of like that.
It's like, you fucking stupid bitches. The goth scene was basically kind of like an offshoot of the fucking punk rock scene. You can trace it pretty much to fucking Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees. She kind of invented the look. Well, partially.
At least for women.
For girls, she invented the look. The original guy look was invented by Sid Vicious, really.
Kinda.
And when Nancy dressed him up like that.
Lou Reed was kind of doing some kind of gothy shit too.
But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. It was fucking Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious and Nancy fucking dressed Sid up like that, and it was based on New York stuff and fucking New York fetish type clothes and black leather and spiky black hair and and it was real fucking it was real outrageous. I mean, fucking Sid Vicious wore a fucking red fucking swastika shirt with the fucking sleeves cut off of it. It's just ridiculous. You couldn't wear that shit, but he would. He wore a fucking swastika.
Well, that was kind of the whole point, was like to provoke.
Yeah.
You had stuff like back then, like Nick Cave would walk around like wearing a shirt that said the only good cop is a dead cop.
Yeah.
Or like, two cowboys like filleting each other.
Right, yeah.
Stuff like that. It was anything to like get a reaction. Murder Hornet Return says, do goths hate normies?
No.
No, not generally. I mean, unless they act like douches, then yeah, we do. But if you're just standing there, then...
Now, see, this is another fucking thing that people don't understand. Most people are conformist. They want to be like everybody else. Okay? Whatever they believe, they want everybody else to believe that. You see this being widespread in society today. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. That's the attitude. And this is being fucking propagated through fucking propaganda channels. If you don't think like I do, you're wrong. You're a bad person. And that's really been the kind of fucking the mainstay of human society going back for thousands of years. When theocracies were like that, monarchies and shit were like that. If you're not like us, you're wrong. If everybody was like goths, if everybody was a goth, we would be mundane. Everybody would be like us. We do not want other people to be like us at all. Society couldn't function if it was all goths. Nothing would get done. We need you normal motherfuckers out there working, making money, drilling for fucking oil, building cars, making computers, running lines.
Do those things too.
We need electricity to be goths. We need to have fucking all this shit done. If these motherfuckers are all goth, none of that would happen. They'd be like, oh, well, fuck that. Nah, I ain't doing
That's
that.
not true.
A lot of them would go, fuck, no, you're not going to get goths to do underwater fucking welding. All right?
Well,
At the
not
bottom of a
generally,
fucking
probably.
oil rig.
Well, you're not going to get most normal
You're not going to
people
get most
to do
normal
that
people to fucking do
either.
that. That's what I'm saying. Everything has a specialized function in an advanced society. And goths are only something that's going to come out of an advanced society, and they're going to be kind of like, there's going to be a subculture. And if it becomes mainstream, the people who are goth will leave it. They'll go, this shit's fucking normie shit, man. I'm out. That's because that's the personality. There's a lot of shit we would wear that was cutting edge back in the 80s and 90s that is now normie wear. You don't wear that. Okay? Normies wearing that. Okay? Because over time, if you look, okay, I can dig up old photographs of fucking goth girlfriends from the 90s that I had that looked goth as fuck. I look at those photos now, and that's just something that the regular chick would be wearing.
Yeah, no one would really like.
No one would
think
look at it. But
anything
back
about
then,
it.
that was like big
Yeah,
deal.
because nobody looked like that.
Nobody looked like that back then.
Well, like I said, I kind of feel like, Tim Burton and, Lars Burial Manson and stuff like that, it kind of mainstreamed the look.
Yeah.
Because you remember, like, in the 90s, like, you had those movies like The Crow and shit like that. So, a lot more people were seeing that look and, like, liking it. So, like, fashion designers were, like, picking up on it and shit like that. So it kind of got to a point where it wasn't as weird anymore, like, to look like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jumping off of that, Danny Rowling says, "Are poser goths easy to spot?"
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
The
They'd
shoes.
have to be like pretty good at it. Yeah, the shoes are usually the dead giveaway.
Yep.
And pretty much every old person, like every old goth knows that.
Yep.
It's always the shoes.
It's
that
the
give
shoes.
away. I don't know
shoes.
why. I don't know why it's always the shoes.
Because a person who's not a goth looks at the outfit. All right, they're looking at the outfit a goth is wearing. This says, "I want that outfit." So they go for the biggest things that they see, which are shirts and pants and jackets. But they don't. They're not look at the footwear. The footwear is at the bottom of the fucking list. All right, but they don't understand it's the footwear that makes that fucking outfit. I could just put my New Rocks on and just have some black jeans and a right T-shirt, and I'd still look goth. And it's because of the fucking
The
boots.
shoes, yeah.
Yeah, the shoes make the fucking. A lot of girls are out there, fucking, doing fucking industrial type shit at the goth club, and they're out. And if you actually analyze what they're wearing, it's shit that they got off of fucking Amazon, a couple bucks a pop, stretchy black bullshit. But because they have the right shoes on and the right accessories, it turns it into a goth outfit.
Yeah, because you don't really have to spend like a fuck ton of money.
No.
I mean, you can get stuff just from like fucking Target. So it's all in how you put it together. Like a lot of people kind of like
And how hot that girl is.
that too. Some people like
Yeah.
cut them creatively. Like, it all depends on like the jewelry, the belts, the way you do your hair, like the shoes. Like you said, it's all kind of like goes together.
Some of those girls are smoking hot. The less they have on, the better they look. They just put bare boots on and fucking accessories and fucking something skimpy, and it's goth as hell. But that's her figure and all those fucking accessories and those boots. It's not the clothes per se. The clothes might just be a fucking stretch miniskirt. That's anything. $3.
Or like black electrical tape
Black
over your
electrical
nipples.
tape over the nipples. There's no top at all. But she's got a rocking set of implants, and she's looking really good. She's just got a big fucking plant X over the nipples.
There was a little mini
lot of
trend for that, like
necklaces
back
and
in the
fucking
old days.
The right hair and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because you see it sometimes where people, like, at least sometimes people make an effort. They don't just come in there, like, looking like they just were mowing the lawn or whatever. But sometimes you have, you'd see this at iBar. You see the Castle a lot, like, back when I used to go there. Was that, especially girls, and they would come there and they'd be like, oh, we're going to the goth club. So so they'd have, like, the one black dress that they had that was old because that was, like, what they wore to funerals.
Yeah.
And then they would try to, like, do some shit with their hair. Like, they just had regular, like, brown hair or whatever. So they'd try to, like, pull it back and kind of tease it or, like, spray, like, purple on the edges or something like that. And it's like they would do something like that. And I was like, oh, at least they're trying.
Yeah. But like I said, a lot of that has to do with who that girl is and what she looks like. If that girl's fucking smoking hot, she can get a fucking $10 fucking just off the rack Wednesday Addams dress with sleeveless with a little white collar on it and the right set of boots. And that's all she needs. But the thing is that usually she's already kind of famous. Everybody knows who she is. She's been around. So she really doesn't have to prove her street cred. All right? Everybody knows what her wardrobe looks like. She's, been around forever. You know everything she has. You see the clothes that she's got. People, they do kind of keep track on what you got.
Well, you kind of have to, because sometimes you have, like, because I have in particular, like, I think there's one or two pieces that I have that I know for a fact that that another chick has the same thing. So you always have to kind of, like, worry that, because, it's a small goth world after all, and every now and then one of us is going to come across the same thing, like on one of the websites and be like, ooh, I gotta have that
same shit on the same night.
So then, you really gotta like watch it. So sometimes I remember, I'm not saying what her name is, but I have this really cool like red vinyl shrug, and I know that there's another girl that has that exact same one. So I always had, so I wouldn't wear it, and then I'd see her wear it like one week, and I'd be like, okay, well I can wear it next week. I'll be safe.
Yeah. I just bought her a dress she wore last night. Fucking, it was funny. Is like, a few days after I bought it, I looked out on the dance floor and the girl was wearing it.
Yeah.
So afterwards, I went, don't get pissed, but I bought her that dress. It's going to be here in a couple days. And she goes, yeah, how much did you pay for it? I said, I paid $40. She goes, I got mine for $20. I said, no shit, dude. He goes, yeah, I got it off a Wish.
Well, I just got
it off a Wish.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Really?
You got to watch with Wish.
Women are fucking have it a lot easier than guys. They have a lot more selection of clothes, and they're a lot cheaper than guy clothes. A lot cheaper. Well, especially the fucking goth guy clothes are fucking expensive. Well,
the thing about it, though, is that a lot of times, some of the women's clothes aren't that expensive, but a lot of them aren't super good quality either.
Yeah, you only wear them a couple times and fall apart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And actually, even like regular clothes, women's clothes, and I've seen like a lot of people complain about this, even if you get them in like department stores and shit like that, you get them kind of cheap, but they're super see-through. Yeah. So you always have to like buy something else like to go underneath it. Otherwise, everyone's gonna see your boobies. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said, they don't really last all that long. They're not really supposed to last, so they just kind of, I don't know. They just kind of like make you buy new stuff, like with the new fashions or whatever. But yeah, I mean, she usually goes. The girl that has that same dress. She is kind of like, she was an iBar Saturday person, and she goes to mannequins, I think, on Fridays, so I just can't wear it to that. I was kind of scared to wear it last night to the show, because I was like, oh, that sounds like a show that she would go to, but she wasn't there.
I can show him a video from last night. Tom posted it. The guys will enjoy it. Tom was fucking taking pictures of the girls, and there's some girls.
Oh, at mannequins?
Yeah, up on a stripper pole, fucking ass hanging out. And I looked at that and says, I gotta get Jenny that outfit. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. There's normies in there.
Yeah, they're
looking
always
at the girls going, what the fuck?
Fourth row down says, goths don't hate anyone. Yeah, we generally don't. I mean, unless you're a real super douche, then we do. Yeah. But everyone would hate you if you were a super douche. They like what they like and don't hide it. Yeah, exactly. In the 80s, I knew goths who were into ABBA and Tom Jones at a time when it was social suicide for normies. Hey, ABBA and Tom Jones are good. I like them too. We were actually talking about that on the way home, because we were talking about Gene Loves Jezebel, and they had done Motion of Love, and I said, I remember buying that single, like a 45, a vinyl single, like when it came out, and I remember not buying the whole album, even though I had all their other, like their older shit, because I was like, well, that song was like so poppy, and I was like, ooh, they're going like all poppy and mainstream, and I don't like it anymore. So I bought that one song and I didn't really like it, and I said, and it's funny now, because now when you listen to it, it doesn't really sound all that different than their older stuff, just in hindsight. And there was like a lot of music that I hated that was like mainstream during the 80s, that I couldn't stand. We were talking about like fucking Hall & Oates and stuff like that, and then but like if you listen to it now, you're like, you know what, that's pretty good. But you could have, I didn't like it at the time, but it's, if you listen to it now, it's like not that bad.
I think he took it down.
Oh, did he really?
Let me see. Maybe somebody fucking yelled at him about it. Although you would think Tom would be like, nope, keep that bitch up.
Yeah, I wonder what happened with it.
I don't know.
Well, if it's the one that I was thinking of, was it
it's from last night.
Was it Jenna Shea?
I don't know if it was Jenna Shea. She looked kind of thick to be Jenna Shea.
Oh. I just saw it real quick, so I didn't. It looked like Jenna Shea, but
Was it Jenna Shea up there on the pole with her friend?
She wasn't on the pole. She was on the floor, like on the dance floor.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe it was a different one that I saw then, and I don't know if it was her. I just thought she's there all the time because her and Damian are always sell their artwork in the front. So I just like saw it quick, so I thought that's who it was.
Yeah, I'm seeing pictures of people just walking around out there. Maybe it wasn't Mannequin Lounge. Maybe it was, let me see. Maybe it was Tom Morris.
Murder Hornet Return says, back in the 90s, me and a friend accidentally walked into a club in Nashville. We said, fuck this, and turned right back around.
I found it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, hold on. Let me fucking full screen this bitch. Look. Who is... That goes... Pans around the corner here. Tom pans around the corner and looks at... Who is that?
Oh. I don't know who that was.
Good.
I couldn't really tell. Oh, shit. Watch it.
Pans around the corner. And then they got her. That's a cool bartender.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love her.
Yeah.
Is that Andy?
And then yeah, I think. No, Andy didn't go. She was with us.
Oh, that's right, yeah. But I thought this was a different night. Okay.
No, this is last night.
Oh, all right.
Who is that?
I don't know.
I was saying people how they could be wearing next to nothing, but it looks goth as hell. That's just a little short mini dress and some stockings and some garters and the right shoes.
And she's got like the long black hair.
Yeah, she got the long black hair,
and
bangs, and she's got the little fetish boot shoes on. I don't know who that is walking away.
Well, just the hair, it looked like Andy because Andy's hair was like that last night, and she usually wears her hair like that, but...
Who is that?
I don't know. I can't figure it out.
That's not, That wasn't Ari, was it?
No. She doesn't have hair like that.
That's true.
Her hair's blonde.
Yeah. I guess that's black hair, isn't it?
Yeah. DJ Maniac said, I have one club buddy I have to pre-plan with. I don't want to show up in the same shirt and look like a fucking fan club. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean... I don't usually have too much trouble, you know what I mean? Because I don't usually have like the same outfits as other people, and honestly, it's better to have like separate pieces because then you can kind of like mix and match them. So even if you kind of have the same shirt on, at least I'll have like a different belt or different jewelry or different pants or whatever. So it's kind of like. John Gora said my favorite clothing item is an old army jacket I literally found abandoned in a parking lot. One of my favorite clothing pieces growing up was I found this trench coat before, Columbine and the trench coat mafia and all that. This was like back in the fucking 80s. I found a trench coat in a thrift store for $3. And it was either black or like a super, super dark green. And like the inside was like bright orange paisley. And I just thought that was hilarious. I wore that fucking thing forever. Like even when it was hot. I would have like my fucking alien sex fiend shirt, and my trench coat, and my little army boots, and my little shaved head.
Ghostface calls it Goth Frankenstein boots. The footwear is always something extreme. It's either some big platforms, or it's a super aggressive, tiny, pointy toe, stiletto, dominatrix looking boot. Something like that. Something that used to squash men's nuts in porn movies. It's something like that.
I enjoy the nut squashing
porn and shit. It's like, ah! And the dude's putting his junk through a damn hole in the board. And he's like standing on his back like that. Some shit fucking, bam! Is that her? And he's like, ah! Me and Jen came across some shit like that. Fucking, we were looking at the porn, and Jenny was fucking laughing her ass off. I was fucking cringing.
That's part of why I was laughing.
She was putting one testicle up against that thing and taking her toe and crushing that dude's neck. I'm going, oh! Damn.
And I was like,
I couldn't
awesome.
look. I couldn't look. And she's sitting there laughing at that poor fucking sad sack. I'm like, you gotta do that shit to get off, man. You are fucked up, man. Damn.
I wonder how much money I could get squashing dudes' nuts with a high-heeled shoe.
Make a shit ton of movies. shit ton of.
I would probably have a good time doing
yeah,
that.
it's just nut squash.
Hey, the more
and then like another one.
The more it hurts, the more they like it. Oh, okay.
And then that same
I'll make
chick,
it hurt.
Then that same chick, she was in this fucking real red PVC mini dress, fucking just only covered the top half of her ass, and she had those fucking same boots on, and she was fucking taking a running fucking start and kicking that dude right in the nuts. Boom! And she'd run like fucking 3 steps and go pap like that. And it was a real kick, like a man kicking another man. You know what I mean? Bam! And he's going, oh! Nasty fucker, man. You got to have some serious problems if that's what it takes to get off.
See, that's the kind of porn I could get behind.
Serious fucking problems.
I would have a blast doing porn like that. Just like kicking dudes in the nuts and stepping on their testicles all day long.
Fuck that.
That would be super fun, I think. Sorry, guys. I just think that would be that would be a really entertaining way to make money. just like squish your testicles like a fucking cockroach.
Don't tear it up.
Oh, she's gonna. John Gore says pop from the 80s is really well put together music, especially the early 80s. Yeah, it really is. And I think, because I was, a teenager and I was into like, gothy shit and post-punk and everything, which I still am. But so I was just like, pop music, ew, you know what I mean? But when I listen to it now, like stuff back from the 80s, I'm like, oh, you know what? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know what I mean?
They're asking, is it hard for a goth to get away fucking wearing the same outfits more? No, you can wear it several times, but you got to have a bunch of them.
Like I said, it's
you can't
better
wear the same thing over and over again.
It's better to have like a few pieces that you can like mix and match. And have some and have some different like accessories. Like you can get cheap like belts or like some kind of like jewelry, or like I said, I have wigs and I have a couple different pairs of boots and shit like that.
Another thing is that there's a lot. We're talking about fashion. This is culture and fashion, which is kind of away from the show topic. But this is a sidetrack
show. There isn't a topic. That's kind of the whole point.
Right. Fucking. That scene has its own history and its own culture. The fashion changed over decades. There's a bunch of different influences. So in a way, it's kind of a code. You'll see people coming and they're wearing something that's retro or harkening back to another era.
Bless you, sweetie.
It wouldn't make any sense to a person who doesn't know the history, but other goths know exactly what that outfit means. So it's not, you know what I mean? Like,
well, you know what they're into.
You know what they're into
from the way that they,
or you know what it's harkening back to. Oh, that's like Adamant from '81 or whatever. There's something, you know what I mean? It just depends on what that person's doing.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's always kind of like, I know, like, to people that aren't in this, it's like kind of everybody looks. Oh, they all look like the same. Like I said, they all look like Edward Scissorhands. Not to each other, because you always kind of know that person. You know that you can tell there, because goth music is not like one, just one thing. There's like a bajillion different subgenres, so you can tell like what kind of shit that person's into.
We have our own celebrities and stuff. And we know what happened back in the past. So you might have some dude want to just appear out of nowhere looking like fucking John Koviak, and you guys don't know who John Koviak is, but we know who John Koviak is. So we can do stuff that works for us. You guys wouldn't understand
it. You guys don't understand.
You don't understand it.
You don't understand us.
Yeah, you weren't there at the time.
DJ Maniac says, not entirely true. I dress like an OG and I'm into pretty much everything. Yeah, honestly, people that more kind of dress old school generally do tend to have like a wider... I kind of feel like the people that are just more into... Because, you do get some people that are just more into... I don't know, just like more like hard industrial kind of stuff or power noise or whatever the fuck. And they usually look a specific way.
Yeah, it's the little sub-genres of the culture. Another thing is that some people just show up and they're young. They're young, they're new, they don't have much money. They're just learning things. So they're going to look different.
Yeah.
And they're at the beginning of their little fucking journey.
They used to call them baby bats.
Yeah.
I don't know if that nomenclature is still...
But you got some guys that show up like Nick, who fucking, like my adopted son Nick. That's what I'm gonna call him. He pretty much knew a lot before he ever even showed up in a club. He knew good bands and...
Yeah, I mean, he showed up and he was 19.
And he looked great. He was wearing the right shit.
Yeah, he had like fucking... He was all Christian death and all this other... And I was just kind of like, look at that dude. I'm like, he looks like a baby.
Yeah.
And yet...
Yeah, and he broke up
I'm like, he's doing it right.
Broke up with his girlfriend. The next thing you know, these fucking 50-year-old hot goth chicks pull him in the bathroom and blowing him and shit. You know, fucking molesting that young boy.
Well, he's 21. He's a nice boy.
He's 21.
He's 21. It's legal.
But
he was at the show last night.
Yeah, he was at the show last night, and I said, dude, man, all these fucking goth moms are fucking sitting here scoping out on me. And he's like,
goth moms.
Yes, and they just look like moms now.
Well,
they don't even look goth. They just look like moms. So all these goth moms are checking you out, man. Fucking, he's like, yeah, well, it happens all the time.
Oh, I imagine.
Because he's tall and he's skinny and he fucking knows how to dress and he's got that look that teenage goth girls universally like. And they grow up to be women and that they're just going like, oh yeah, you know, I used to hit dudes that look just like that.
Back in my day.
So they start reliving their fucking youth, you know.
It's always funny though. It's always like entertaining to me. Whenever you go to a show like we did last night when going to see Gene Loves Jezebel. Yeah. Whenever you go see a kind of like not a real obscure goth band from back in the 80s, but like one that was kind of better known that maybe had like a couple hits and stuff. You always get, it's always kind of like half and half. You always kind of get like goths, like old ones and young ones, and then you get like a bunch of, like you said, like a bunch of like normie looking moms and dads who obviously they're like, I used to look like that back in the old days. You know what I mean?
Like,
but now they
bitch, I'm older than you.
It's like, why don't you look like that anymore though?
Yeah, I'm older
if
than
you were that much into it. I mean, you were into it enough to pay $20 to see Gene Loves Jezebel. So I don't understand. Well, it's like, well, I had to have a job and I have kids and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's no excuse.
No excuse.
We know lots of goths that have kids. And their kids are no more fucked up than anyone else's kids.
Yep.
Maybe
Aurora's
less.
got 2 or 3 of them and she's still suspending herself from the ceilings with hooks and shit. Fucking, you would not know. You couldn't really tell how old she was.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of that as someone's mom, but she totally, well, and that's what I mean, like a lot of, well, like Jess that was there last night, she's a big, tall, skinny girl, big green mohawk and stuff like that.
Somebody's mom.
She's also someone's mom.
Yeah.
But so you just wouldn't know, like looking at them, but a lot of them are someone's mom.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys who I'm talking about. Okay. That's Aurora, and that's somebody's mom.
Shit, that's several.
Yeah, she's got 2 or 3 kids. Okay.
Yeah, how many she got?
I think she's got 3.
I think it's 3.
And she's a suspension performance. She'll put big old damn spikes through her back, and they'll suspend her from the ceiling, and she'll be swinging around from rafters and shit.
DJ Maniac says EDM fans all had the same generic look. Yeah, military gear, high and tight haircuts. Yeah, they all kind of look like that. And DJ Maniac also said I look a lot younger than I'm supposed to. Yeah, I found that like a lot of people that are into the goth subculture are a lot older than they look. Yeah. Like it's very, maybe it's because they stay out of the sun. Or maybe it's just because you see them in the dark all the time. Maybe that's what it is. You don't ever like see them in like bright sunlight. You can see all their wrinkles.
Man, the women are very deceptive. I mean, you know, Jenny's coming up on 50. There's a lot of girls that are from the scene that are coming up on 50. Some of them are in the adult entertainment industry. Like, remember them big titty?
Yeah.
What's her name? She's your age.
Yeah.
And nobody knows how old she is. I'll get a picture of her. She hasn't been around a long time though.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while.
She's around, but she's working.
John Gora says my graying hair is the big tell. I'm not dyeing anything though. But why not? I mean, if you want to, you should, because I've been dyeing my hair not because it was gray. It's probably gray now, but I started dyeing it a long time before it was gray, just because I wanted it to be black because it was easier. You know what I mean? She's
Jenny's age. She's almost 50.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me see.
Yeah, Fourth Rodan says you don't see goths at the beach too often. Yeah, you don't. I mean, it's not usually a thing. It's not a thing. Yeah, I haven't seen her in ages.
No. She's around, though. She just doesn't come out anymore.
Well, she used to go to the fetish parties all the time.
Yeah.
At Escape.
She's married to a chick that looks just like her, the big boobs and everything.
Yeah, they're like little twins.
Yeah, and then they do dudes for a living. They got boyfriends, too. It's weird. And they're...
Those two are super nice. I like
super
them.
nice. What's up, Pook?
But yeah, they used to come to the fetish parties all the time.
Yeah. But you would not think that that's a 50-year-old woman.
It's just, yeah, it's really not something that, I don't know, like I said, it's really not something that occurs to people, I guess. You just come to the club, you like the music, you just, you want to dress up and shit like that, and nobody's really, like, worried about how old you are.
It was DJ Maniac.
Hey, did he give you permission to, like, put him on the show?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, that's
Where's
me.
he got him out, I can't get his facial hair in. Oh, that's right.
Murder Hornet says MILF Goth Booty Tang.
Yeah.
Pootie Tang, sorry. Booty Tang. I can't read. I can't read. Yeah, I mean, I thought about growing, because my hair, like I said, my hair is red, like naturally, but like coppery reddish orange, but it's probably gray at this point, I'm sure. So it's just easier to like slap black dye on it. Kind of keeps it healthier. Black goes with everything. I have a weird thing where I always have to like color coordinate shit. You know what I mean? So I always kind of feel like, well, if I let my hair grow back out and it's red, then I can only have like red accessories. Like, because if I wear like some other thing, like if I wore this that has like hot pink and blue on it, like it'll clash, and I don't like that. You know what I mean?
DJ does look like Rob Zombie. He looks a little bit like a skinny Rob Zombie, though. I think Rob Zombie's he's a little heavier, isn't he?
I have not seen Rob Zombie in a while.
I think he's
he's not. Well, Rob Zombie, I don't think he's fat. He's just like.
I think he bulked up.
He's just
though.
big.
I think he bulked up.
He's
though.
just big,
Yeah.
but he'd never struck me as like fat.
No.
I think the last time I saw Rob Zombie was like on one of those horror documentaries.
He's getting mad. He's going to take it back. They're going golly over fucking Princess Pinky. Yeah, I wonder why they don't come out anymore. They were only coming out on fetish nights.
Yeah, that was the only time we
Yeah.
ever saw them. Was
Yeah.
at Escape. They didn't go to any of the
Yeah.
other things. They were more like into fetish stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think they were really because there's a lot of overlap between
Right.
the goth scene and the fetish scene, but it's not necessarily the same thing.
They all know each other.
There's a lot of people that are into fetish shit that aren't into goth
Yeah.
shit.
There are some goths into fetish though.
Yeah,
But everybody knows each other pretty much. You recognize them. You go, yeah.
those used to be fun. Those fetish
Yeah.
parties.
They don't have them like they used to.
No, they had them. I think Southern Nights is still there.
Yeah.
But
You know who's big into that is fucking Dimitri and Jen. They love fetish stuff.
yeah,
Maybe we ought to fucking throw a fetish thing.
you think?
Do it at Southern Nights. I wonder what Southern Nights wants.
I mean, I think they're still around, right? As far as I
how much money they
know.
want for it.
I don't
We
know.
might be able to make money with it. I mean,
that's a nice place. Like I
yeah.
said, it looks like a dump from the outside, but like the inside is
It's
really
supposed
big
to.
and really nice.
It's supposed to. And out back, it looks like a fucking tiki bar for fucking hell and Love Motel.
And it's massive. It has
Massive.
like a big theater in there, and
Yeah.
then like there's another room with like a big dance floor and like this big it's like when this really swanky like all these
Yeah.
white bricks and
Yeah.
all these fancy bars and shit.
What's great about it's I think normally a gay / drag bar.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's
But-
gay and drag pretty much
Yeah.
all the time.
But we were having fetish nights there.
yeah,
And we
like
had
once a month.
Once a month. Then they had the music was goth industrial though, and it had a lot of goth overlap. Goth people coming, and it was great because man, during the summer you'd just get hot as shit, and you could just get blasted in there, and fucking you could take your shirt off and fucking walk around out back. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Your heels broke, and fucking we were hanging out with that other chick, and her fucking shoe broke, and fucking you just stand out in the fucking back, fucking like half naked, got out this shit, fucking drunk, and it doesn't matter there.
Everyone's like whatever.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Well, they would do a theme every month.
yeah, it did thieve.
It would be like I remember them doing like Scary Disney because
Yeah.
I remember being Scary Poppins.
Yeah,
That's
and yeah, so they always had
costume parties.
Yeah, it was like a costume party.
And there's a theater in there.
Yeah.
It has a stage and everything.
They do like game show, like dirty game shows.
Yeah.
And you'd win bar tabs and shit like that.
I was up on stage trying to fucking win these prizes, because they'd call people up to fucking do the prizes and shit. One of them was they had a cat box filled with fucking Rice Krispies. It was like cat litter with fucking
Tootsie Rolls in it.
Tootsie Rolls
So
in
it
it
looked
and
like,
shit. Looked like
so-
shit. Yeah.
yeah.
It had to dig through there and find these little fucking pieces of
with
paper.
your mouth, and you had to like
With your mouth. And you had to fucking find the prizes and shit.
I actually had to.
They gave me porn. I remember that.
Yeah, we got
porn.
like some free porn videos.
Porn.
Like, well, not videos, but they were DVDs.
DVDs.
We got porn DVDs. And also, I think I won. I won like a little, like a vibrating egg or like some
Just
some
stupid
handcuffs,
shit. It's all
like
sex
shit
stuff.
like that.
And they pay your bar tab.
And they pay your bar tab and stuff.
Yeah.
The one time I went up there, I think I had to. Didn't I have to like? But they gave me like shaving cream or whipped cream or something like that, and I had to like soap up those girls' butts,
Yeah.
and then like kind of like they had like blow up dildos and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. I was kind of drunk. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly what was going on.
Yeah, you're not really having sex. It's not having sex. It's all gags. It's all gags.
But I remember. I think
Yeah.
I still have those. Yeah, I won like. What were they like? They were hot pink handcuffs.
Yeah.
I think. I think
Yeah.
I still have them somewhere. But yeah, I remember winning those.
Yeah, that was fucking Mike Stone running that.
He died.
And Mike Stone died, so maybe we ought to
Yeah.
fucking try to open that up. And
Well,
he
it
was
was
a
him
young
and-
guy. All these dudes fucking die. They die young. The women all die of cancer. Every dude that we've known that died of some kind of fucking weird drug-related thing.
Except for LD, he died in a car
And
crash.
LD died in a car wreck, yeah.
He was a DJ.
Yeah. And he didn't have long to live anyway. LD was a dwarf. And he had bad problems with his liver, his kidneys and shit.
Yeah, it wasn't just that he was a dwarf. He had like
yeah,
a bunch
he had
of
bad
other
health problems.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, he
fucking
died in a car wreck. Like somebody, he was
died in a freak accident.
He was like waiting to get on I-4. I think he was on like an exit ramp, and some random ass person like just came and like fucking hit him out of nowhere.
And like a year
he
before
died.
that, he's like, man, I don't think I'm gonna be around much longer. I was like, yeah, that bad, huh? And he goes, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I mean, he's in bad
And
health.
fucking, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry to hear that, you know. And fucking, and you know, I says, you're a good DJ, man. You're real amusing too. Fucking people. I didn't want to tell him, you know, a lot of people think you're an asshole. You know?
I think he knew that.
I think he
though.
knew that.
He knew that.
But says you're amusing, man. You're good to have around. And he's like, yeah, but this little body's just not built right, man. And I said, well, you got to look at it this way. We all die eventually, and then we're released from all these fucking physical boundaries. We can become cosmic creatures, maybe to reincarnate. And he goes, yeah, I'm gonna come back as an eagle, you know, and shit like that. I'm like, all right, yeah. Anyway,
I hope he did.
yeah, he died in a freak car accident.
Yeah,
That
it
could
was
have happened to anybody.
It was a freak.
He got
car.
rear-ended.
He was the only person that
Yeah.
died in that wreck too.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre.
Yep.
I remember I don't remember who called me and told me, but I remember
Yeah.
somebody did. But I was like, man, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Well, it's like we heard about the accident first, and we didn't know. They were like, oh, well, one person died, and we didn't know who it was, and then we found out who it was.
No,
later.
that one guy, I think his name was Tom, too. It's been a long time since I've even said that guy's name. Remember, he was my age. He had that real hot young girlfriend, and he died in the hotel room sleeping next to her. She woke up.
that's
Remember that?
right.
She woke up, and he was dead next to her.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I
I had
feel
to
like
keep his ass under control. He was running around with a fucking pistol. He would go to the clubs with fucking packing. And he was starting to get...
never a good idea.
Yeah, he was starting to get paranoid. All right. And he thought people were after him. And I said, he was a drug dealer. You know, he was a drug dealer, basically. And I said, man, you need to fucking chill the fuck out. Okay? You're in here drinking, you're high as fuck, and you're fucking carrying. All right? And he was... he was a ticking time bomb. But he died in his sleep. Fucking weird, man.
I mean, it's probably good that he didn't like take other people out with him, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is that I know, like, the way we talk about it, it sounds like this big fucking. But honestly,
Yeah.
like, most people in the scene are, like, really chill
Yeah.
and normal.
Yeah. Yeah, kinda. Not really.
I mean, well,
Not really.
The thing about it, though, is that normal people
Yeah.
are absolutely not normal. They
No,
just
normal people are
pretend that
sometimes
they're
worse.
normal.
The normal
And a
people
lot of
sometimes-
times, normal people are sometimes worse because
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to hide it.
Right.
At least most of the time, like, gossip, they're kind of fucked up. Like, you kind of know they're fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really make a big secret about it.
And the guy that I was telling you about, I think his first name was Tom. That was 11 years ago. The guy who died in his sleep. I think his name was Tom.
I mean, yeah, I think that was his name, but
I think
yeah,
his name was Tom.
that was a while back.
Long time ago,
That
11,
was a
12
while
years
back.
ago. I only knew the guy for a couple years, and just from the clubs. He wasn't really a goth. He hung out in the goth scene. He was cool. He was a drug dealer, though. Really.
Yeah.
And he was ex-military and fucking, when you look at him, it's not the stereotypical thing that you would think of a drug dealer, When you looked at him, he looked like a cop. He carried himself kind of like a cop. He had training and everything. It's just that he was just going down this slow descent of fucking drugs. He'd lost everything that he owned because he had a regular job when it started, and then he just fucking drug addiction turned him into a drug dealer, which had benefits to it. It had its own benefits from his point of view. He didn't have anything to worry about. He just lived in hotels and had these young druggy women, hanging off of him all the time, and he was having fun. He was in his 40s, I think, at that time, and made a lot of money in cash, but he didn't own anything. He had a car, and he would buy clothes, and he would say that he didn't do laundry. It's just that when his clothes got dirty, he just threw them away and he bought more clothes. He couldn't buy anything. He couldn't buy anything big because he just had cash income.
Right.
So
Yeah, you don't want anybody looking at that shit.
So
Because not a lot of people have whole cash income.
Right.
Everybody's going to be like, drug dealer.
Yeah, and he couldn't, evidently couldn't or didn't want to rent a house because he wanted to keep moving so nobody would know where he was.
I mean,
Yeah.
in a way, he's probably, more paranoid than was warranted,
Yeah.
but, I mean, it's probably good if that's your line of work to be cautious, for
Yeah.
sure. I don't think that, moving from place to place and not, owning it or not buying anything, big, I don't think that's, over the top. I mean, I would probably do that, too, if I was a drug
He was
dealer.
living a disposable life.
Right.
Everything was just disposable. Weird.
I mean...
I've known other guys that lived that way too, and they said that fucking in the trade, as they'd call it, they'd start throwing ones away because ones were too bulky. They'd end up with a damn gym bag full of ones. You could throw the fucking ones away.
Well, I mean, they could just,
They
give
just
it to a
throw
homeless
them. Yeah,
person
they'd
or
throw them
something.
fucking to put guys begging on the side of the road, and they'd go fucking crazy for the ones and shit because it was just too much. And they couldn't spend it all, and then the supplier keeps forcing more and more product on them. Sell this, sell this. Dude, I can't sell that. Sell it or else. Oh man, look at this shit. Look at all this.
See, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Don't be
Forcing
drug
them to
dealers,
sell more and
kids.
more and more. And these dudes are dangerous.
Yeah, might be fun for a little while, but
that particular guy I'm talking about said that he finally realized that they weren't keeping track over how much they gave him, just as long as he kept sending them money. They didn't care.
oh,
So sometimes he would just I can't sell all this. He'd just throw a lot of it away, and then he'd get another shipment in, and he'd just start over. As long as he was giving them bags of 20s, they were happy. They weren't even counting it. They would just go, yeah, it feels good, and they'd throw it. They'd kind of weigh it with their hand. That feels good, and they'd throw it in the back of a truck, and then fucking kick out a big old fucking thing of coke or heroin or something. Kick it out the fucking back of a truck and fucking leave. Take off. This be out in a wooded area. They'd be out there with AKs and shit. Central American guys. You fuck around with those dudes, man. I got that shit on video. What they'll do to you if you fuck them over. Dangerous life. But that's what happened to that guy. He just fucking died in his sleep from something that he did. Weird.
maybe he just took a little bit too much, or his body was just like, nope, I'm out.
He was looking in bad shape. You remember him?
Yeah,
You remember him?
yeah. I mean, it's been a while.
I could tell that he was under a lot of stress physically and mentally. Running his mouth. Had a fucking pistol in his fucking waistband and fucking eyebar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
That's
good.
downtown.
yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, in the club. Jacked. Loaded.
Drinking and firearms don't mix.
Yeah, and drugs.
And drugs on top.
Yeah, and drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very easy to get mad at somebody.
Yeah,
Just
get mad at
shoot
the
'em
wrong
right in the
person.
face, and then you're in prison. For the
He
rest
was
of your
kind
life.
of fucking getting to the point to where he thought people were after him that weren't after him. You know. So he was getting paranoid. And he was dead a couple weeks later. That was the last time I saw him. And it was the last time I saw that girl. Remember her?
Yeah, like what ended
She
up
was
happening?
pretty.
What ended up happening to her though?
She just vanished. I think it traumatized her.
Well, yeah, I mean it would.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. These dudes have fucking remarkably good-looking women. They're not losers.
Well, they got money and drugs.
They got money and drugs.
Camp guy said, my old man used to pick up every coin he saw on the ground. Pennies to nickels, dimes, and quarters. He was a millionaire when he died.
Yeah.
Did he really pick up that many nickels? Holy crap.
Yeah.
I don't know where all these people are finding, like, I guess I don't walk around outside all that much, but I don't know where you guys are seeing all these coins. Nobody carries coins anymore. I kind of feel like you're not going to be a millionaire nowadays going around picking up coins because nobody carries any cash or coins or nothing. So
Somebody's going on about Howard Stern hurt his butt with a large toy. You're going to have to fucking put more information in on that.
What, did he stick one of those things like up his butt?
Yeah, because I stopped listening to Howard Stern around, I don't know, 2002 or 3.
Did he used to stick stuff up his butt on?
No. Not that I know of.
Maybe he did later.
Maybe he did.
Fourth Row Down says, have you seen a movie called American Made? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, Camp Guy said he was born in 1930, so he had to live very frugally during the Great Depression. Yeah, I do kind of feel like that happened a lot with people from that era, because they were just they saved everything, you know? Because that's just what they were used to doing. Yeah, he said, I saw it on Netflix, but I don't know if it's on there now. And let's see. Murder Hornet says, I've been approached a few times by the cartel to smuggle guns and drugs. I'm like, no way. The day you start doing business with them, you sign your own death warrant sooner or later.
You can't ever stop.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not just, I'll just do this for a year or two and then I'll retire. Yeah, that's not how that shit works out. I mean...
They're going to use you up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure it's cool, like, because you make a shit ton of money. But, yeah, it's dangerous, and you're going to get on the wrong side of them at some point, and they're going to, like, kill your ass. Or you're going to get killed, like, doing some other shit. It's not worth it.
They're gonna, before they even deal with you, they probably have to know everything about you, unless they're friends of yours. I mean, you know, you can see Cocaine Cowboys, a movie on Netflix that explains how it was here in Florida with the Cubans, the Cuban Americans. But that was a long time ago, and those particular guys got into that business. They weren't criminals when they started. They just they weren't very ruthless. They did kill some guys later on because they were trying to not go to prison. But they weren't as ruthless as, say, like MS-13 or the Mexican mob. Those guys are already set in their ways, and they fuck you up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it.
It's just really not. And I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, I'm a big advocate of them just kind of like legalizing and regulating everything.
Yeah, they should have never made that shit illegal to begin with. They should have controlled all that.
I mean, that's what's causing all of that fucking
right.
atrocity. Is because of that. I mean, because there's a lot of money to be made there.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of fucking the black budget of the United States comes from that. The intelligence agencies have been involved in that. I used to not believe that, but then the more I fucking found out, I was like, oh, I guess they are. They made that shit illegal back, or made it real. They increased the penalties a lot during the war on drugs during the very early 80s on purpose because the ruling class wanted to get involved in it. If you made it legal, all the money would vanish. They wanted that money. Hell yeah. I'm not saying not everybody in the ruling class. There were certain people in the ruling class like, oh, this is a good idea. Because they wanted Prohibition back.
Yeah.
They made a lot of money here in Prohibition era. People didn't want to get rid of alcohol. They wanted alcohol to be highly profitable. The only way to make alcohol highly profitable is to make it illegal. Then it becomes real profitable. That's why illegalizing guns is ridiculous. In Brazil, basically all civilian firearm ownership is banned. It's illegal. You can't even get the ammunition. So what does that mean? It means it's every fucking where. Everywhere. The fucking organized crime cartels make guns, they can make ammo, and they bring that stuff into Brazil. And the shit's worth a lot of money. Every criminal cartel has a shit ton of guns. Every civilian defense militia has a whole bunch of guns. And who sold them that guns? The same ruling class that made them illegal. Yes. Difficult to accept, but sad but true. The same rich people that banned those guns is making a killing off of smuggling them into their own country. Because they love that. It's about money. They don't give a shit about you. They hate you. And it's been that way in Brazil. I grew up there. The ruling class gives a fuck about the peasants. It's about how much money are we going to make off these fucking suckers. It's bad. It's bad. And the entire system is rigged. They own all the fucking media. They own all the political parties. And political parties in Brazil just kind of pop up like popcorn. They're little bitty things. They're little startups. And they can buy influence in any of them because they're all poor people. You know? It's easy to bribe poor people. Or he's a poor guy with a doctorate, maybe. But you can still bribe him. Bribery is what runs Brazil. It's kind of like the mirror universe out of fucking Star Trek. It's exactly like that. I love Brazil, though. I liked it. I had a good time there. It's chaotic as fuck. I grew up partially in São Paulo. And I was just kind of built for that in a certain way. But I always had a fucking firewall. I never thought America was like that. But as I got older and more things got unveiled over time, the way it really was, stripping away the varnish over it, I realized, no, America's exactly the same way. It was just better at hiding it. And it's become more and more apparent. Rich people are like criminals, or they are criminals. They have a lot of the same tastes in things. And I'm not talking about just random rich peoples in nice houses. Not them. They're servants. I'm talking about oligarch class. You know, multi-billionaires. They're fucking crooks. You can't make that much money without being a crook. It just kind of goes hand in hand. There's a reason why you rose to the top.
Somebody asked if anybody had seen those Fear Street movies. I haven't seen them, but I heard like the first one was good. But that's all I've heard. I don't really know. I haven't watched them. But I've seen some good horror movies lately though. I mean, we talked about the new David Cronenberg one. We still haven't seen that fucking Top Gun movie. We still haven't seen. I wanted to see that new A24 movie. I think that new Blumhouse movie is starting. The Black Phone. I kind of wanted to see that. That looks kind of good.
Martin Horton says Elon's probably a big cokehead. Yeah, he heard he's a cokehead. Oh, it doesn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me. When we were kids, I don't know how young these people are. Fucking coke was always the drug of rich guys. It was expensive.
Well, they were the only ones that could afford it back then.
Yeah, it was expensive and.
Well, no shit. They made whole movies about that shit.
Yeah,
Bright Lights, Big City. Wasn't it Bright Lights, Big City? And
now,
that other one that was all all the like yuppies that were all like fucking
exactly all the yuppies. Just because
you the blow.
Yeah, just because you like blow doesn't make you a criminal, but to deal in that would make you a criminal. But when you're talking about people of such high order, they own the law and the justice system, and they're basically kind of like royal families. They do whatever they want. Laws don't apply to them; they just apply to you. It's the way it is. Get some more ice.
I'm out of vodka, am I not?
You're out of vodka. You want some? Want some of this instead?
No.
Okay, then that's it. You're fucked. No more vodka for you. There's no other alcohol in the house except tequila.
Oh, okay. I don't want any more tequila. Do you got any like ginger ale or anything?
No.
You don't got any ginger
Diet Dr. Pepper. I got that.
Oh, all right. I wouldn't mind some of that.
Okay.
Like I said, I just want something to drink. It doesn't have to be alcoholic.
Okay.
Because I'm just thirsty. You know what I'm saying? Because we drank last night. I didn't drink a shit ton last night, but I didn't really want to drink like more again because DJ Maniac says heading out now. See you guys later. Okay, have a good time. Safe journey and all that. Less Than Zero. That was the one that I was thinking of. Is Bright Lights Big City even about drugs? That was a yuppie movie too, right? I get them all confused. But Less Than Zero was actually the one that I was thinking of. I've been meaning to read that book, actually. I've never read it. I saw the movie like a long time ago, but you know what I mean. John Gore said Abel Ferreira's Fear City is good. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've seen Abel Ferreira's other stuff. Like I saw like his old ones, like Ms. 45 and Driller Killer and all that. But I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to like watch that. Hey, Zach just arrived. Hey guys, me and my boyfriend Finn are watching the show. Well, hey, welcome to the show. We've already been here an hour and 40 minutes. We're kind of tired because we were out like late last night, but we're trying to keep it together. I'm out of booze though. I only had enough for one drink, so now I have to just drink soda. Look at, you guys can't see, but like Pookie is like right there. And she's just like laying right there with her little mouse. Like, she has like a little mouse like between her paws. What you doing, baby? Yeah. Oh, and she's sitting on the other mouse.
Somebody was mentioning there's a Tom Cruise movie where he was smuggling drugs for the CIA.
Really?
That's what he said. Yeah, if that movie exists, go ahead and drop that in the comment section. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
So that's Diet Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's not bad.
It's pretty good.
Doesn't taste that different. Well, it tastes a little bit different than regular.
It's one of the best
Pepper.
The Diet Dr. Pepper and Diet Root Beer is good. Diet fucking Coke is not good.
Well, I don't even like Coke all that much.
Now, Coke
anyway.
Zero and all that other shit, that's a lot better. But
Camp Guy said they had vodka on sale for $11 today at the liquor store. Holy crap.
Next dimension says American Made, Tom Cruise. Okay, American Made. Oh, Louis on there. Louis says that too. All right, Hernandez. You send me that one, I'll review it.
Look
as
at
many
you,
movies as you send me, I'm gonna
shameless.
fucking whore myself out like that.
We still got to do. We did the first Godfather, but we still gotta do 2 and 3.
Got to do 2, 3.
Maybe we should do that. Well, okay, like tomorrow we got to talk about Last Duel because we watched that one.
Last Duel was good.
And then we wanted to watch Mad God.
Yeah.
On Shudder, so we
Yeah.
got to talk about that, and then maybe we'll do Godfather 2 like this week.
Okay, if y'all haven't seen Last Duel, go ahead and see it. It's good. We streamed it. Okay, I'm gonna say
No, we didn't.
We just. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Dermot sent me money to get it.
Yeah, that's right. We had it on.
So I bought it.
But I think you can stream it, isn't it?
You should
think
be
you
able
can,
to. I would
but this
imagine.
time.
But we got the.
What was the one where we tried to stream it and it wasn't out yet?
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Ghostbusters.
You can buy it, but you
can't stream
can't
it.
rent it.
Yeah, I wanted to see what that was all about.
It wasn't that expensive to buy, but it's
Yeah.
like I would rather kind of like watch it first before
Right.
I bought it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think Oscar is here, but I wanted to tell him because he kept bugging me about watching X, the new Ty West movie. I finally watched it. Okay,
Yeah.
so the review of it is going up on the 23rd. So it's going up on Thursday. I already recorded it. It was really good. I liked it a lot. But I finally got around to watching it because the price went. I wasn't gonna pay $20 to see it because I missed it in the theater.
Yeah.
But it came down to like $5, so I said, okay, I'll watch it now.
Say
It's $5.
Hernandez, is it good? Is American Made? Is it good?
I have heard it
worth
brought up before,
Yeah.
but I didn't even realize that it was a Tom Cruise movie.
Telling you, man, Tom Cruise does have some good movies, and we still haven't seen fucking Top Gun yet.
That's what I was gonna say. You know what's weird? I think that either last night or the night before, I think I dreamed that we went and saw it, and I got motion sickness
Yeah.
from the airplane shots. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Hernandez says it's good. Okay. What year was that?
Hmm.
I didn't know about it.
I didn't like I said I'd heard of it, but I didn't know that Tom Cruise was in it. I was talking to Jen last night because she's always asking me like, oh, what good horror movies have you seen lately? Because I've always seen a bunch. And I was saying to her, I was like, dude, every time I go and look like on, because I have so many fucking streaming services now, and I was just like, ooh, I want to see that. Ooh, I want to see that. And it's like, I can't keep up. There's still like a bunch of old shit that I still want to see that I still need to like talk about and stuff. But then they keep putting out new stuff, and I'm just kind of like, oh man, that looks good too. Oh shit, I'm never gonna live long enough to see all these fucking movies and like all the books that I want to read too. it just makes me sad. Like every time I go to like Tubi or HBO Max or something like that, and I'm scrolling through the horror movies, and I'm just like, oh man, I wanted to see that. Oh, I wanted to see that.
Zach says his favorite Tom Cruise movies is Eyes Wide Shut and Rain Man. I'm gonna say those are both good movies. I like them both. But no, fucking Tom has some better ones. That Collateral that Louis sent me was real good. Where he plays an assassin. Also, his spy series, Mission Impossible. The first couple ones are kind of cheesy, but they're movies of their time. But like the last 2 or 3 Mission Impossibles were fucking great. Real good.
Yeah, they got better as they went on. Because I saw, like, I didn't see the first ones when they came out, but, like, you had them all, so you were showing them to me, and I was like, these first ones, I'm like, these are kind of goofy.
I saw them when they came out.
They were more like the old TV show.
Yeah, when I saw them when they first came out, and they were movies of their time. The second one was a John Woo movie, that was real hip in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It had that kung fu kind of feel to it, which that was really cool in those days. But after 007 Casino Royale came out.
Yeah, then everybody had to be like that.
Yeah,
they're like,
Mission Impossible was gonna have to fucking keep up with that.
That was like a mic drop.
Yeah, and I know Zach likes fucking 007, the new 007. You would like fucking the last like 2 or 3 Mission Impossibles.
What were they? Fallout, Ghost Protocol.
Fallout, Ghost Protocol, and then I think there's another one.
I can't remember what the other one's called.
They're good. They're real good. And he plays a dude who's kind of like Ethan Hunt is a Bond like character, but it's a little more realistic than James Bond. Even though I'm not gonna say James Bond isn't realistic, it kind of isn't. It kind of depends on which story you're talking about. James Bond is always working in the shadows. He's basically on his own, which I guess you could do that. Spy work has never been that exciting. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, but nobody wants to see movies about real people doing their real jobs because that would be like boring as shit.
I would think the closest thing to really James Bond in the real world fucking intelligence, old school intelligence stuff would have been female sex operatives. They were pretty much worked alone. But they weren't killing people.
Well,
they were fucking
you kind of
dudes.
have to.
Yeah, they were fucking dudes, but they weren't killing dudes. They may have killed themselves, or they may have killed.
Although they probably could have killed a dude if they really wanted him to. Like they could have just give him some poison or something.
That wasn't their mission, though. Their mission was to get dirt on a guy and to convert him and to get him.
Rogue Nation, yeah, that's right.
Rogue Nation, yeah.
That was the other.
Zach, you should see some of the Mission Impossibles, the later ones. They're good. You'll like them. In Mission Impossible, Ethan Hunt is a part of a team, okay, which makes it a lot more plausible. You can't do all that shit on your own. You got to fucking have a team backing you up, doing all different kinds of support for you, delivering you places or making stuff for you and talking to you and giving you things over your earpieces and shit. And usually Mission Impossible is about breaking into a place and getting something and then getting out of there. Usually something along that line.
Yeah, it's an impossible
It's an
mission.
impossible fucking task.
That's kind of the whole point of the series.
He's going to be there doing it on his own, but there's a whole crew of guys fucking helping him. Now, Ethan Hunt's fucking main backup dude is, I don't remember the name of his character or the name of the damn actor, but he was the black dude from, not Pulp Fiction. Yeah, was it Pulp Fiction? He was the gangster that got fucked up the ass by the fucking rednecks in the damn punch. Remember him?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to take missile rapist here and a blowtorch. That guy plays Ethan. Yeah, that's a fucking, I like that actor.
That's right, I forgot.
He's got that real fucking tough voice and shit. He's in him. And he's kind of Ethan Hunt's fucking kind of like main support guy who makes sure that he gets there on time and that everything's, and he's just kind of a brilliant support guy. And they're like best friends. And that, evidently, I never saw the television program. I may have seen only a couple of episodes when I was a kid, but I don't remember much about it. And I think there was a black guy in the television program. It was kind of like, here's another one that I want to see. They say you can get all of the Wild Wild West on DVD for pretty cheap. With Adam West,
Yeah.
You ever seen that one?
Ving Rhames, that's that guy's name.
Ving Rhames, that's right,
Yeah.
Rhames. Yeah. He does a great job in the movies that I saw. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch all those. My memory isn't what it was after these head injuries. I just remember what I forget people's names. But I never forget faces and shit. Or I'll remember everything I told you or said to you, but I won't be able to remember your name. I'll forget Jenny's name. I'd be like,
Hey, you.
Jenny.
Hey, bitch.
Yeah. And it's not. It's, you know, after getting your fucking brains bashed in, there's residual shit. Residual shit will fuck with you. But, yeah, see those, Zach. You'll like them. The first two, they're out of style. Okay, the way they're filmed are out of style. But they're still worth seeing.
Like I said, they're kind of more like the old TV show used to be. That's what they were. But that was okay back then because that's kind of more what they were doing.
Yeah, I saw them when they came out and liked them.
But after they went like in the more like gritty action direction.
As soon as Casino Royale came out.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, well, we have to do that now.
Yeah, and that's what they did.
Yeah, Hugo says the Jack Reacher series. Yeah, I've heard those are good too. I think I read a couple of the books like a long time ago. You'd probably like
probably
them.
would like it.
I don't think I've seen the movies, but like I said, I read a couple of the Jack Reacher books.
I got to get up on all that stuff, man. I'm falling behind.
That's what I'm saying. That's what. See.
Yeah.
I mean, and me, I'm just like a horror movie person, and even if you're just a horror movie person, you can't keep up.
You can't keep up with this shit.
There's just so much. Like I was watching. If you have Shudder, like I was watching Shudder, like they had the 2022 like Fangoria, like the Chainsaw Awards, and they were given all the awards for like all the movies from last year, and I'm like, shit, I haven't seen like hardly any of those. Holy crap! And so I had to like write them all down, and then I had to like go see them, and you know, I did end up seeing like a whole bunch of them, so I did do that and like review them.
Jack Reacher, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I saw the.
I remember the book's good.
I saw trailers for it on other DVDs that I was or Blu-rays I was watching. I was like, that looks pretty good, but I haven't seen them. Haven't seen one of them.
Yeah, somebody said the movie they were talking about earlier, American Made.
Yeah.
Next Dimension Media said you were talking about Cocaine Cowboys. Mm-hmm. American Made is about the pilot they talked about in that documentary.
Okay.
Barry Seal.
Okay.
That's what it's about.
Okay.
So you'd probably be into that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we just saw Cocaine Cowboys not that long
Yeah.
ago, actually, just like a few months ago.
Yeah, fucking. That's a trip that they were using shortwave radio to fucking call Nicaragua and Colombia and all these fucking places down in Central America to get those airstrips ready to bring the cocaine over.
Hey, we're bringing the cocaine.
Bringing it over. Yeah, we were talking about, you know, radio communications on the show a couple days back. I was pulling out all my radios.
Yeah, because we were talking about the Navajo code talkers.
Yeah, and you could talk about the Navajo code talkers. And how all that shit's obsolete because now you have fucking compressed and scrambled radio communications, and then you can also do stuff over online. Online communication is fucking super secure. As long as somebody's not on you, you just have to know how to do it. You know, and you had guys that were given fucking sensitive and secret information over live chat inside of video games. Because what counterintelligence agent would be fucking trying to catch dudes talking to each other over Xboxes, you know, playing Halo? It's just not going to happen.
Now you just blew their cover.
That's all gone.
I know.
That's all gone. And then you have to have the ability to keep an eye on somebody and consistently be able to eavesdrop on them through all these different platforms. So a lot of shit like code talking and fucking radio, what do you call them? Number stations and things. It's all obsolete. Don't need it anymore. See what everybody's talking about. Yeah, Ving Rhames. Somebody says, watch Spy Hard. Hugo says that. I don't know what Spy Hard is. Yeah, Kev Guy says that the Bond music was top notch as well. The thing is, and I'm a big fan of the new James Bond series, not all of the theme songs were good. Only the first two were, if you ask me. The Casino Royale theme song was good. And what was the other one? Quantum of Solace.
Oh yeah.
It had a good theme song too. The other ones, I didn't think the theme songs were any good. It just didn't have that bond gravitas with the fucking almost kind of an over the top optimism, you know. In a way. Well, they were kind of dark but optimistic at the same time. But the other ones were too slow and too falsetto male vocals, and they weren't bad, they just didn't stand out as a Bond theme to me, you know. When you go back through time, some of those Bond themes, they were just fucking badass. Living Daylights from Aha, fucking that was a badass one. Garbage did one, World Is Not Enough, I mean that's a fucking Bond theme. Fucking A View to a Kill from Duran Duran.
I still love that song. I mean, I love Duran Duran anyway, but that was a great Bond
theme song. There were just Bond movies usually had great theme songs.
Yeah, that's kind of like part of the brand.
That was it. But I'd have to say, those last 3 007 movies, I think it was 3, right? So you had Spectre, no, hold on, you had fucking Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace,
Skyfall.
Skyfall didn't have a great theme song. And then you had Spectre, not great, really, the theme song. And then the last one was, what was the name of that movie?
No Time to Die.
No Time to Die. That theme song also didn't stand out. Those last 3 theme songs.
I liked the Skyfall one.
No, I didn't. It was okay, but it just didn't. It just didn't have. It didn't sound like a James Bond theme song to me. It just didn't.
Danny Rowling says Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan are the best Bonds in my opinion.
Yeah. I got to go back and see Timothy Dalton once. I think he made 2.
Yeah, was he in 2 or 3?
I think he was only in 2. I saw him in the theater when I was a kid. I saw him in the theater in Brazil and was impressed with them at the time. I remember thinking that they were real gritty and kind of hardcore for the time.
Well, for the time they were. Because prior to that, you had Roger Moore, which was kind of like...
cheesy. Yeah.
Kind of cheesy.
Although I liked Roger Moore, kind of. But it was almost like comedy or parody, a lot of it. They were excuses to see exotic locations in the Roger Moore era.
Yeah.
It was back when people didn't have Google Earth and shit. You know? But it was kind of like fucking theatrical fucking tourism. You know, you're going to go see some shit.
Location porn.
See some locations, yeah.
That's
so it's not quite... They still do that, but it doesn't have the same impact as it used to. But I got to go back and look at Timothy Dalton ones. Or not... not Timothy Dalton. Yeah, Timothy Dalton.
Now,
I remember them being kind of hardcore, but I don't know how they'd stack up against the new shit, you know? Probably not well.
Timothy Dalton was in Flash Gordon.
Yeah. He was, what's his name? Prince,
Yeah, it was... All I could think of was the Princess Bride, Prince Humperdinck.
He was like fucking... He was like Robin Hood. He was like Robin Hood.
He had like a very Robin
Prince
Hood.
Baron. His name was Prince Baron.
That's right.
He was not only was a baron, he was a baron and a prince. It's like Prince King.
Prince Baron King.
Yeah, King Emperor. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. John Goris is talking about the License to Kill theme song, which was Gladys Knight. Yeah, I remember that one. I mean, there were a lot of really good. There were a lot of good Bond theme songs.
Was if I'm going to ask you guys, like I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the old shit in a long time. Were the Pierce Brosnan movies? Were they hardcore? Were they gritty? I mean, I remembered thinking they were, but at the time I was 15, maybe 13 to 15, 16 around that time. So.
And it might just be all relative because, like I said, now that everything is like
grittier,
super, everything has to be super gritty and grim nowadays and realistic and stuff.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like that back then.
Right.
Everything was still kind of
theatrical. They probably don't hold up. You probably see it now and it's just probably mediocre.
Yeah, it might be one of those things where they're just kind of like a product of their time. I mean, you know, I think they can still be enjoyed just as movies, but I don't know. Some things I think it's better if you see it at the time. Because especially something like that, like after the recent Bonds came out, the Daniel Craig ones, you know, I don't think the ones from the 90s or anything like that are going to look all that gritty anymore. Kanavasan said no, they were ridiculous.
Said they were ridiculous? Okay, yeah. Yeah, he said he never liked Timothy Dalton in it.
I don't really, I can't really have an opinion on it because I don't even remember if I've seen a single Timothy Dalton one all the way through. I'm sure I've seen like scenes from him and stuff.
In those days, the Dalton ones were like a departure from what was normal in James Bond. And I was like, oh man, this is a lot better. You know, I liked him. But like I said, I saw him in the theater when they came out as a kid and never saw him again. So my memory might be totally fucked up. That was just the impression we had at the time. I remember other people liking it. But like I said, times change.
Well, that's kind of why I like to revisit things. Like stuff that I really liked when I was younger. It's like sometimes I like to watch it when I was older just to see. Well, because I'm always kind of curious too. It's like, what was it that I liked so much about this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, like what appealed to me. Like if I don't like it now, like what's the difference? John Gore said, I like the Bond film where his bride gets whacked in a drive-by at the end. Which one was that? Isabella Tufel says, the part where Felix gets chewed up by a shark and then they deliver him back to Bond is pretty gruesome. He's still alive.
He was chewed up by a shark but still alive?
Yikes.
I don't remember. Yeah, I didn't see that. What movie was that from?
Yeah, I don't know. What parts of him did the shark chew on?
Yeah.
Not his head, obviously. Bundy Data said, I remember the Jaws guy, and not the shark, obviously, in the Bond movies, and Saucer, they could chop his head off. Yeah, that was like one of the enduring memories I had of like
that
Bond
dude biting
movies.
through that cable.
Yeah.
Jaws biting
that was
through the cable.
Richard Kiel, that guy.
Yeah.
Because he was also in EGA.
Yeah.
He was in all those like cheesy and human duplicators and like all those shitty B movies that were on MST because he was like a big fucking giant dude.
Now I remember some of the, Roger Moore Bond movies. As a kid, I liked them.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I remember fucking Diamonds Are Forever.
But we didn't know any better.
Yeah, and I haven't seen them since then. But Diamonds Are Forever. Remember that? Where that guy they threw that guy in that pipe, and then they sealed him inside. And then they took the pipe, and put it inside the pipeline, and he woke. That was actually Bond in the pipe. They knocked him out, threw him in the pipe, and he woke up. He's in there. And they sent something down the pipe, and he jumped on top of it. It was something, I guess, inspecting the damn welds. A robot. I just remember that part of it.
Although I have to say that even when I was younger, I think even then I understood that Moonraker was stupid as fuck.
Yeah, I remember. I saw Moonraker, and even as a kid, I fucking liked it. I'm like, look at him. I want to go back and see what that was about. It's probably ridiculous.
Which one was the one where they had the sharks in the swimming pool?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Did they have sharks in the swimming pool? Like the shit would open and like the sharks would swim out in the swimming. That like scared the shit out of me because I was always like, so for a long time after I was scared to swim in a swimming pool because I thought like a supervillain was gonna like release some fucking sharks.
And that was like cheesy 60s/70s stuff, and it looked like something out of a Disneyland theme park at the time, like fucking It's a Small World. A lot of the decor, round stuff. Pools were always inside the house and they were round. And just weird interiors.
I always kind of wanted a pool
Stucco
in my house,
type
though.
stuff.
I always thought that would be so cool.
But I don't really remember seeing any of the fucking old James Bonds. I remember some of the shit where Roger Moore was so old that it was not credible. And he's getting inside these little damn mini jets and flying them around and fucking, he's like wowing and amazing fucking 22-year-old women that want to jump his fucking 65-year-old ass. And there's nothing to him.
You're so hot, I'll get the Metamucil.
Yeah, he takes his shirt off and he's like a skeleton. He's like a skeleton. Skinny and shit, you know what I mean? Fucking with like nasty fucking chest hairs and shit.
And then like the women love this motherfucker, and I'm going like, oh, I don't know.
Hopefully those actresses got hazard pay.
That was
that's
back
all
when
I'm
people
saying.
could suspend disbelief, you know, when they believed that the world was really like that. Although it may have really been like that.
Maybe that's why old guys like those movies so much.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, that could totally
That
happen.
could totally happen. But maybe that did happen. Maybe that
Somebody
did
my
happen.
daughter's age or my granddaughter's
Yeah.
age is totally into me.
Maybe that did happen though, back then. Because maybe it was more about money and status and fucking, you know what I mean? Because, you look at China. Old fat guys in China are considered to be fucking wealthy and powerful, and they're like the sex symbols. Do you realize that in North Korea they think the sexiest motherfucker alive is Kim Jong-un? They have those defector women. They'd bring them back, and they would be laughing over what they thought was fucking sexy. They liked Kim Jong-un because he was fat. They didn't see fat guys. So therefore,
Because everyone's starving.
everyone's fucking starving.
That's fucked up.
So they thought he was fucking sexy as hell. That was the fucking best looking man in the world, because he was fat. And that was
They're
just
like,
something
look,
that
he's
was.
actually eating, and he
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
money to buy food. Wow.
You just listen to some of those defectors.
That's
and
messed
their
up.
stories of how the situation will change your perception on reality. And young Korean women were raised from an early age to want to go out with fucking old fat guys. Old fat guys, because they had all the food and all the money, and that all the women were competing for them.
They were clearly eating all the food.
They were eating all the food. And when they are in a society where they don't have anything, and all the fucking women that are better looking than them are competing for those guys, they think that that's a catch. Ain't that something?
I always, going back to Roger Moore, I always thought that he looked very leathery.
Yeah.
Don't you think he looked kind of
Yeah, like
leathery?
he'd been in a tanning salon.
He looked a little bit like a puppy's chew toy.
Yeah.
Slightly. No, no offense, man. I'm just saying he did kind of look like that. Like he looked like he'd been out in the sun too
Now,
long.
Khan's pulling out George Lazenby. He said he wasn't bad in Bond. He liked the movie, Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think that was only one.
He was just
movie
in
that-
one. Yeah, he was just in one.
I've heard about those other movies, but I mostly didn't see
I don't
them.
think I saw the George Lazenby one. I've seen him in other movies, but I don't think I've seen his Bond movie.
Yeah.
Unless I might have seen it as a kid because I saw a lot of Bond movies when I was a kid. But.
Yeah, fucking now Khan's talking about the Jaws and Moonraker. Yeah, what the deal was is that Jaws had these damn artificial teeth, or they were artificial jaws. And he was the one of the Bond enforcers, supervillains, and there was a scene where he bites through fucking a cable to a cable car, if I remember correctly. And in the end, though, he ends up switching sides and becoming a good guy. That the bad guys were just using him, and he runs off with some cutie pie chick in fucking Daisy Dukes and fucking long braids coming out of her head like fucking Wendy from Wendy's Burgers. She looked like that. That's what she looked from. That's just all
I
based on
remember
memory.
that.
And she looks at him and smiles, and she's got braces. And then
That's
he sees
right,
the
I
braces,
remember
he's
that
like, yeah. And then
scene.
he picks her up, and they run on there to live happily ever after. Yeah.
I mean, braces are hardly the same as like entire metal teeth. And
Yeah.
all I was thinking just now was, can he are they like dentures? Can he take them out?
No, I think they were metal jaws.
Because
Actually.
I'm
Yeah.
not to be indelicate, but I mean, when he goes down on her, they maybe are gonna have a problem.
If I remember correctly, it wasn't just teeth. I think his whole upper and lower jaw were artificial, made out of fucking titanium or something. Some kind of exotic metal to make you a fucking scary Bond villain. He wasn't a scary. He wasn't a Bond villain per se. He was a Bond henchman. He was the villain's henchman.
I just always remember him because, like I said, it's Richard Kiel, and
He doesn't have a single speaking fucking.
He was in a bunch of other.
Yeah, I don't think he has a speaking role.
Did you ever see that movie Ega,
No.
where he played a caveman?
No.
It's pretty weird. It was on Mystery Science Theater actually.
Yeah.
And he was in another one called Human Duplicators, where wasn't he playing a scientist? And they were like, he was an alien, I think.
Yeah.
He was an alien, and they came here and they were trying to like duplicate people, as the title suggests.
So how long we been streaming?
2 hours.
Okay.
Gramthar says, Gramthar went to a... He's still referring to himself in third person. That's like funny. Gramthar went to a graduation party today in Trenton at the Westfield Activity Center, a block from Steve's old house.
Oh, shit.
Was tempted to see if the Love Hotel was still in operation.
No. I don't think any of them still... I don't even think any of them are in that house anymore. I don't even think Steve's mom's in that house anymore. I don't think. I think the house got sold.
I wouldn't know. I've never been there. John Gora says, Roger Moore was good in Spice World. Do you know I've never seen Spice World? Should I? I mean...
Probably not.
Is it worth watching?
Probably not.
I'm kind of thinking... Well, like I said, I'm so behind on my horror movie watching. It's just like all these other movies that I need to get around to, I'm probably never going to get around to. Because I'm just not going to have time.
I would love to fucking revisit the old James Bond movies, but I'm not sure I could sit through one. We have to see.
You'd have to be in the right mood.
You'd have to be right in the right mood, yeah.
I mean, you know. It's just... I'm so used to the new ones now that I feel like... I like old movies in a lot of ways, but I like old horror movies. I like old like mysteries. I like stuff like that. But like action movies and stuff like that, it's just I don't know. It's not quite the same. It's just kind of like comedies.
Yeah.
Like usually when you watch like an old comedy, usually it's not funny because like shit's not funny anymore because like comedy changes. Now there's some movies from like the 80s and stuff like that I think are still funny, like Ghostbusters, but.
I liked revisiting old Burt Reynolds movies. Most of them were pretty good.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I still liked... I still like Smokey and the Bandit and all of that. That was still like
White
pretty
Lightning
charming.
and Gator were pretty fun.
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit was good. And there was, I think we saw 1 and 2, right? Or did we just see 1? I don't think we saw 2.
No. And there was a 3.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten about it. Well, no, because Burt Reynolds wasn't in it.
He wasn't even in it. Yeah.
Jerry Reed, who was in the first one, was in it, but he was playing Burt Reynolds' character, I think. And I was just like, well, how does that work? So they like switch bodies? What the fuck? How'd they explain that? I don't know if I ever saw the third one. I'd be very surprised if I hadn't because it seemed like it was probably on HBO like every 5 minutes, like back in the 80s. So I probably watched it.
We didn't revisit Cannonball Run. Which
we still haven't.
Trash.
Well, because they made a second one of that too. Yeah. Like, remember we were gonna watch it one night, but I think like we couldn't find it, or you had to pay to rent it. And we were like, fuck it. There was something else that was free.
Cannonball Run was supposed to be kind of like fun for the whole family, and it was like a movie that had everybody in it, which they did that shit in the 70s a lot. Where it's a movie that had all Hollywood stars, each one of them with a cameo appearance, basically. And just where you could just see everybody. It was Hollywood's version of social media of the time.
Well, it was almost kind of like the movie version of what was that thing like Circus of the Stars?
Circus of the Stars.
Remember how they would do that every year?
Yeah. And you weren't supposed to take the movie seriously. You weren't even supposed to take the story seriously. It was just an excuse to sit there and fucking see your favorite stars act a fool, you know, and say witty shit. You had to be there. Wouldn't work today.
Danny Rowling said nobody in Cannonball Run was funny, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, I think I remember it being funny like when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it since then. He said except for Jackie Chan. That's right. I forgot Jackie Chan was in that.
Yeah, Dom DeLuise would jump up with his fucking Mexican luchador fucking mask on as Captain Chaos with a fucking bat with a fucking cape, and then you had who else was in that shit? Fucking
Dean Martin was in it, right?
Yeah, I think he was. It was Dean Martin, and
Sammy Davis Jr.
And Sammy Davis Jr.
They were in the same car, right? They were dressed up like priests.
Yeah, and fucking Sammy Davis is wearing his head of Baphomet around.
Yeah, well, he was a Satanist.
That Anton LaVey gave him.
Yeah.
They didn't mention it, but you can see his head of Baphomet on.
Yeah, he was a satanic priest.
Yeah.
And Dean Martin was like being his drunk self. Well, he was being Dean Martin. He was pretty much drunk all the time.
I think he was a bishop, or a cardinal. Anton LaVey made him a bishop or a cardinal, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
John Gore says Spice World's a hoot. Okay, I'll watch it one of these days. Danny Rowling said Used Cars is still funny and holds up with Crussell.
Yeah,
That's right. We should probably watch that one of these days. Kind of Awesome says you need to review the ultra shitty Garbage Pail Kids movie. It's so bad you laugh your ass off. I've seen scenes from it, but I don't think I've ever sat through the whole entire thing.
Pail Kids. That's a horror movie, I think, isn't it?
I don't.
Like a cheap horror movie, kind of like Gremlins, right?
I don't think it's a horror movie, is it?
Okay.
I thought it was a comedy.
I thought it was like a horror comedy, like Gremlins.
Because it's based on those fucking cards.
Okay.
My brother had some of those cards. And then Gramthars says watching Spice World is worse than taking a cheese grater to your taint. And there's no greater misery than taking a cheese grater to your taint. Oh my god. Camp Guy said original The Matrix, Taxi Driver, Fight Club, and Vanilla Sky are 3 serious movies. That's 4, but whatever. Who's counting? Serious movies I could get my son to watch with me when he was like 9 to 13 years old. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Liquid Sky.
Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
That was a remake. That was a
a
remake of Open Your Eyes, wasn't it? That Spanish movie. Wasn't Tom Cruise in Vanilla Sky?
Okay.
But like I said, it was a remake of a Spanish movie.
What was the one? It was kind of like a punk rock movie taking place in one of those cities. Might have been Chicago. Remember that? I thought it was Liquid Sky or Vanilla Sky or Liquid Sky.
What that one we watched the other? Oh, that was what the fuck was the name of that? It was Liquid something.
Liquid Sky. Yeah.
Maybe it was Liquid Sky.
It had it didn't make any damn sense.
No, it didn't.
It made no sense, and there was a fucking flying saucer on the roof or something that was doing shit that people didn't make any sense. Liquid Sky, I think is what it was.
It says Cam Guy said he also watched The Grifters. Wow, and Being John Malkovich as well. Wow, that's awesome. I love Being John Malkovich. That's a great fucking movie. That's a great fucking movie. It's so fucking weird. You've never seen that, have you?
Uh-uh.
No. Oh, it's funny. It's basically about it's kind of hard to explain. You can sort of like you can rent out space inside John Malkovich's head, so you can like see the world through John Malkovich's eyes. So what? John Malkovich is in it, but he's like playing himself.
Why would I want to do that?
But it's a fictional. No, it's like funny. It's super funny. I mean, it's funny in like a bizarre like black humor kind of way. But I loved that movie. It was so fucking weird.
All right, so
Kind of Awesome said, Tom, do you remember a movie called Hot Dog: The Motion Picture? I remember that was funny.
No.
I vaguely remember that. I probably saw it once. You know what they added the other day to Amazon or something was Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of like an anthology comedy type of movie. It's kind of like Kentucky Fried Movie, that kind of stuff.
Did we even get any super chats today? I'm gonna have to come down. I'm gonna crack my whip on these people. I'm gonna come down on these people.
He's bringing
Not
down
a single goddamn super chat. Shame on you freeloaders. Zach usually sent us money. Not even Zach fucking jumped in.
Oh,
Where the hell's Zach?
Tom's gonna cry.
I'm gonna start crying. Okay, so
Kind of Awesome said, yeah, Liquid Skies from 1982. Yeah, we watched
Sky
that.
Sucked, man.
It was interesting. We watched that on Shudder or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it was mostly just about like weird punk rockers like hanging out, and then oh, by the way, there's like an alien spacecraft.
There's aliens and they're doing something
that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Yeah,
we were kind of like, all right.
I don't know why that movie was put together that way.
It seemed like just probably like a lot of friends,
and
maybe they were all kind of on heroin, and
the one that really got me. There were 2 of them. There were 2 movies in the history of fucking cinema that fucked me over bad.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I remembered them being good until I saw them again. Whoa, money coming.
Oh boy, look at how
Next Dimension came in and sent me $10. Thank you very much. Get this. We're gonna.
Tom shit. Thank you.
We got to get this shit paid for.
Sounds like shaving.
I fucking laid out $700 for air conditioning. Fucking $700 for fucking.
Well, they were freezing up. They had to like come and like. They had to come and melt it all and like get it all cleaned and shit.
This is the first year I'm running these fucking air conditioners since we bought this house, and I don't know how long they've been maintained. They need to be recharged.
Well, yeah, because they were renting it out to people like before, so I don't know when the last time.
And we got 2 central systems, one for upstairs and one for downstairs in this thing. So 700. I thought it was only gonna be like 300, and then they came back. Well, you got 2 units, and I was like, oh yeah, I fucking forgot. I got 2 units. But anyway. The 2 movies that really fucked me over. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze.
That's not one of the movies.
I remembered them being great until I saw them again, since I grew up. 1, Scanners 2.
Yeah.
I saw Scanners and loved it. Saw Scanners 2, and I was like, man, this shit fucking sucks. I couldn't get through 10 minutes of fucking Scanners 2. That's how bad that shit was. And then the other one that really fucking got me was fucking Trancers.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that. I
thought Trancers. I thought Trancers was good from how I remembered it, and then I fucking bought Trancers on Blu-ray. The first 5 minutes was good. The rest of that fucking movie, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? It was like something somebody made at home. And
You're like,
it didn't
how
make
high
any
was I when
goddamn sense. And here's the funny thing. There's like 6 of those.
Yeah.
That's all that dude
So
does.
some bitch is like watching them.
That's all that dude does is make fucking Trancers movie.
He's like, this is a really good idea, goddammit. One of these days I'm gonna get $1 million for this.
It was a good idea. But
yeah, it was.
They couldn't execute it. Time travel through your genetic lines. You could inject something into yourself, and you would wake up in one of your ancestors or descendants.
That's right, I forgot.
Descendants.
That is a good idea, actually.
That you could travel through time through the genetic lines.
But you need more time. You need more time, money, and talent.
Yeah.
To kind of like convey that. I think,
Yeah.
what they did.
Once the story got rolling, it's just about an old guy hanging out with a hot young chick, and nothing happens. He's trying to get laid. And he's supposed to be.
Which we can just go to the bar and see.
Yeah,
that.
and he's supposed to be like a detective, like fucking out of Blade Runner.
Well, the funny thing about that is that I had never seen Trancers, and you like really talked it up to me. She's like, I'm gonna buy it. Oh, I saw it a long time ago. It was so good. Yeah. And then like we're watching it, I'm like.
Yeah, and I couldn't get through
I'm like,
it.
Are you all right? This is really not a good movie.
Yeah. I was like 20 minutes into it. And I'm like,
it's like, is this even the movie that you were thinking of? Well, because sometimes you have a thing where you're thinking of a completely different movie. Because I've had you do that a couple of times. You're like, oh, this movie that was called this and blah 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 happened. I'm like, that's not.
Gramthars knows what I'm talking about. Back when we were going to high school in Michigan, because I did part of my high school in Michigan, part of it in Brazil. When I was in Michigan, I was hanging out with Gramthars and some other dudes. I was fucking hanging out with, at this time, me and Mike Kowalski. I don't remember Mike Kowalski, but me and Mike Kowalski and fucking a friend of ours from Woodhaven named Derek Hardick. His last name was Hardick. Hardick. Harddick. And he would call himself Derek Harddick to girls. And then he'd pull that shit out of his pocket. No, that's my name. That's my porn name and shit. He was fucking hilarious, all right?
I mean, if you got a name like that, you might as well just like lean
Derek
into
Hart.
it.
We rented fucking Trancers and walked away from the experience like we saw a fucking masterpiece. That's
What substances were you on at the time?
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know what it was.
He's like something, but I don't remember what.
I think what really happened is that we watched the first 10 or 15 minutes of the movie and then started fucking off and talking shit to each other didn't really pay attention to the movie. And then
so you only remembered like the good bits?
Yeah, and then afterwards only fucking talked about the best parts of the movie.
I think that happens a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Especially if there's movies that you saw when you were young, like during your formative years.
When you're in a group.
Yeah, and
so it was more like the experience of fucking like, imagine if you could do that.
Well, and plus it was a good experience because you were hanging out with your friends. You were having a good time. Maybe you were having like a couple of beers.
We
like
were down in Mike's basement in his fucking lounge, all right? And we probably were drinking or smoking weed.
That's what I'm saying, or both.
Or something. and I think we mostly talked about the movie.
Right.
About.
So you wrote a better movie in your head.
Yeah, we wrote a better movie. Okay.
That's probably what happened.
And then years later, I didn't remember the movie. I remembered talking about the movie.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Probably.
And partying when the movie was happening.
Right. So it was all part of like a positive experience.
Yeah.
And then when you saw it again, like just in regular,
this is the movie?
You're like, this is it.
Because fucking like for days after, we would fucking be like fucking, I'm shooting up, I'm going into my ancestor, just shit like that. We were making references to it, you know what I mean? Because the dude's name was Jack Death and shit. And fucking, we were like, yeah, my name's Tom Death and shit like that. You know? And we just fucking around like that, you know. Because it was Michigan, so we had overcoats. You know, put the overcoat on, put a hat on, you know what I mean? Fucking like you're something out of Blade Runner. So I think that's what happened.
Probably.
I think that's what happened. Because then we go to 7-Eleven and play fucking video games, play Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And fucking Spy Hunter. And Rastan. That's when you got butthorked. Butthorking on a fucking on Rastan. If you guys know what I'm talking about, Rastan was a video game like Conan. You had to, it was like Ghosts and Goblins. You had to run and jump and fucking throwing axes and shit. He had an axe. And there were these little pits that had spikes. And at one time, my friend Jason Quinlan missed the jump and fell down in the pit. And his ass landed right on one of those spikes. And when the character died, he went, and he would disintegrate, you know? And Jason goes, I got butt-worked. I said, yeah, it went right up your ass. And then from then on out, if anything went up in your ass, we called it got butt-horked. So it's just crazy shit.
It is a very good descriptive term.
Hork. He goes,
Which is probably, that approximates the noise that somebody would probably make if like a big spike went up their butt.
That's what it looked like. It's what it looked like. Butt-horked. And fucking teenage boys just come up with that shit in their formative years, and it would stick in your head.
Yeah.
And you'd use that again. Motherfucker got horked. You know what I mean? And we're referring to something that happened in a video game 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think kind of like all kind of groups of friends have that. I mean, like, you know, it was the same like when I was in junior high and high school.
It's crazy.
Like we would like, you know, we had a lot of kind of like words that we made up.
Yeah, we made up words only you know.
Or that we got from movies or something like that.
Yeah. Man, it'd be on during the summer when school was out, and I'd go to Mike's house, and fucking just sleep in the basement with him because he didn't have to go home. I'm gonna hang out with Mike. We'd wake up at like 3:30 in the fucking morning and go to 7-Eleven. His 7-Eleven was right behind his house. He used to work at 7-Eleven part-time. Okay. And we'd go down there and play Ghosts and Goblins at like 3:30 in the fucking morning. It's just something that
sounds fun,
teenage
actually.
boys would do, playing Ghosts and Goblins. Like we were getting away with some shit.
Well, yeah. Well, when you're a kid, yeah, it's like, oh, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven and I'm going to
3:30 in the morning.
I'm going to get a big gulp and I'm going to go
get a big gulp and fucking drink big gulp all fucking day. And we were fucking had cigarettes. We were already smoking at that time. Smoking.
That sounds like.
And
the
then Mike says,
right
"I got a shift. I got to start my shift in a couple hours. This is what I'm gonna do." Okay. There's a 12-pack of beer in there that's fucked up. I'm gonna throw it out. When I throw that fucking 12-pack of beer out, you go back in there and get it. Take it to my house. I said, okay. I just do some shit like that. I was like, all right, yeah. And he goes, yeah, it's all fucked up. A couple of cans are crunched, and I'm gonna throw this shit out. Go get it later on. I said, all right. So I'd fucking be back there, fucking
hey, free beer,
stacking up beer. He goes. He'd throw out and it's gonna be in a big paper bag. You'll see it, and I'll fucking pull the paper bag out and fucking take it back to his house and fucking throw the shit out. Start stacking the beer up and look, there'd be 2 packs of cigarettes in there too. Like, oh, okay, all right. Fucking, we were fucking thieves, man. Hold on.
Like, oh my god, the mother lode. Yeah, some people were bringing up subspecies. Yeah, I've actually been wanting to do, because I think Shudder added at least the first couple subspecies movies, like, not too long ago, and I've been putting them in the poll, but they haven't won yet. But one of these days we'll get around to, like, because, yeah, I really like the first subspecies. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones, but the first one's really good. John Gora says, strangely, I love all the old movies from my childhood decades later, even more so. Honestly, I like most of the ones from back then. At least most of the ones that I saw, like, a bunch of times when I was growing up, and that kind of, you know, a lot of those, like, they still hold up. Every now and then I see something that doesn't, like, but it's usually, like, comedies and stuff like that, like, stuff I thought was funny back then, and, like, now it's not funny, but, you know, most of them I think did hold up. I mean, you know, like shit that I was when I was a kid. John Gore said memes were localized back then. Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, I can't even remember. I'm trying to remember like some specific examples. I know that we used to. we were all kind of like me and people I knew. We were all kind of into like weird ass like indie movies and stuff. So we would always like quote movies and shit at each other all the time, and like a lot of shit from music, like song lyrics and stuff. But we would like make up words and stuff too. Hamburger, the motion picture in 1986 was also funny. I vaguely remember that one too. I probably saw it, but I don't really remember that much of anything about it. Yeah, they're talking about, subspecies. Yeah, that's right. It was filmed in Romania. Yeah, that was like a big deal at the time because they're like, hey, well, that's where the actual vampires are from. You know what I mean? Glenn Little said, had the soundtrack to Liquid Sky like watching the small bus collide into a train, so bad, but couldn't look away. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think it's on Shudder anymore, but they added it, and I was like, oh, I like any kind of movie about like punk rock stuff like from that era. So we watched it. It's like, it was okay. It was just like, mostly it was just kind of boring. You know?
Hold on, let me get more ice in this.
You didn't even put any ice in my soda.
Oh, I thought you didn't like ice and soda.
What are you talking about? I like ice in everything. I'm from Florida.
I'll put ice and soda.
What the hell? I'm not European over here. I'm not putting ice in things. We put ice in everything. I put ice in everything. I even put ice in milk. I know that's like super gross. All the subspecies are good, says Danny Rolling, except for the last one, which doesn't have Radu in it. But it's kind of growing on me nowadays, just saying. One of these days we should probably like watch the whole series, because I've for sure only seen the first one. I've seen the first one a couple of times and I remember liking it, but I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. Huh. I'm going to have to tell that to Tom when he gets back. About the backpacking in the Smoky Mountains. Jenny, have you done Nightbreed? You know what? I don't think we have yet. I was thinking about putting it in the poll this week, but I don't think I did. But maybe I'll put it in the poll next week. I put it in the poll before, but it didn't win. I've seen it a bunch of times. But yeah, Hugo said I watched Conan in the theater with friends and we still say Crom from time to time. Yeah, well, I mean, I do that as well. Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure like where you were at.
Over here.
Gramthar said, Gramthar went backpacking in the Smoky Mountains with Mikey once.
Yeah.
Dude smoked 2 packs of Winston's a day, but could still hump 50 pounds in his backpack up Mount Sterling.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be young.
Yeah, Mike was the shit. Yeah, me and, you also remember Jason Quinlan. Jason Quinlan ended up becoming like a fucking a grand figure in academia in like University of Michigan. For all that damn weird social studies bullshit. Super smart guy. He's like a kind of like looked like Spock, acted like Spock. He was a good dude, but no, I wouldn't say he wasn't a very streetwise kind of guy. But he's still my brother, even though I'd fuck him up if I saw him. You know what I mean? Just I'd have to fucking make fun of him, but over some of the shit that he believes in. But I'm telling you, we had this time, me and fucking me and Jason. All right, Gramthars probably remembers what the name of this place was. It was a fucking video game arcade over there near Taylor. It looked like a fucking barn downtown. It looked like a barn. It was shaped like a barn, kind of. Had neon signs all around it. It was near where there was a big Blockbuster there that we used to fucking rent movies from sometime. And them big-haired fucking Bon Jovi looking fringe jacket wearing Taylor Billy chicks that fucking pull up in those old 1970s cars and shit and go, hey man, you know, try to get Faygo from you and fucking
Trying to get Faygo.
Yeah, trying to get Faygo from you and trying to get you to buy them some Southern Comfort, you know, because they were fucking underage and, you know, they were trying to get booze off you and shit. We called them Taylor Billies. But we used to go up to that arcade. And you might remember the name of that arcade. There was a game in there that me and Jason Quinlan we had vowed. We did this shit on a handshake and everything. We had vowed to beat that fucking game. It kept whipping our asses. It was called Akari Warriors. Okay. I ended up finding Akari Warriors playthrough on YouTube, and it was just brought me back. Okay. It was a game, 2 players, you fucking played it side by side. You had a joystick and 2 buttons, and the joystick had a knob that you could rotate 360 degrees, and you controlled a little Rambo. One guy had a Rambo that was a fucking blue Rambo, and the other one had a red Rambo. What they were wearing. I think it was their shirts. No, they didn't have shirts. That's right. They were shirtless Rambos.
I was gonna say if you're gonna be Rambo,
it was just their headbands were colored. All right. And when you could move them around, and then you rotated the fucking joystick, the knob on the stick, to get his gun to point in all these different directions. And you could either shoot your gun or throw grenades. And you were fighting these aliens. And you could pick up all these different kinds of guns, and if you picked up 3 of the same gun in a row, your gun got powered up each time. And you could throw regular grenades or red grenades. Hell, these different kinds of grenades you could pick up. And man, fucking, this thing was fucking us up. It was, you're fighting these aliens, and one of the main aliens that used to fuck with us, we called them Zimbabwees. Okay. And a Zimbabwe looked like a cross between a little baby and a fucking teddy bear. And they were green. And they'd come running at you like millions of them. And when you fucking hurt them or set them on fire, they'd go, Zimbabwe, 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 Zimbabwe. So we called them Zimbabwees. All right. And fucking, we were fighting seas of them. And you had to have the flamethrowers. You had to have flamethrowers totally powered up to get those things. And then you were attacked by stone heads. A big head, looked like a stone head, a skull with tentacles on it. And it's throwing shit. And you just got to fight your way through this fucking weird LSD-inspired universe. Rambo versus these fucking monsters. And I think for us to get through that game, we had to spend $20 in quarters a piece. And when we finally won it, we were just, it was like we fought a real war. We thought that was some serious shit. And when you're a teenager, $20, especially back in those days, was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Okay. $20 a piece to get through that thing, I think. If I remember correctly.
$20 is still a lot of money.
We're sitting there fucking, we had to hold it, go get some coins. Go ahead and get some coins. We had to get the tokens. Go get some tokens. You had to hold the game so nobody has to get on it during the continue. Okay, look, fuck it, I'm going to get some more coins. You know, and that shit's on the continue countdown. Well, I watched the playthrough, and I was like, that's all it was?
It's like, man, we sucked.
No, it didn't suck.
It was like such a hard time.
It didn't suck. It's just that it was nowhere near as long as I thought it was.
Yeah.
It was like, when you watch the whole playthrough on YouTube, I think it's about 35 minutes. But it seemed to take hours.
Yeah.
When you're paying and just dumping coins in it over and over again, 35 or 40 minutes seems to take fucking forever. And I think we spent like fucking $20 a piece or something. Because it gets so fucking hard, you're just instantly annihilated. Your dude just keeps dying.
It's like, God damn it, Randall.
Yeah.
Gramthars said it's called the Red Barn Arcade.
Red Barn Arcade, there you go.
You even said it was like a big barn. You should. It was
Red
right there.
Barn Arcade.
It was right there.
Yeah.
Kanavatsan said, Body at Brighton Rock from 2019 is a good movie. We actually talked about that. Yeah, because we saw it. We did a matinee on it, I think. I'm pretty sure. Wait a minute. Danny Rolling said growing up in the area of arcades would have been cool. It was pretty cool, actually.
The era of arcades, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they were kind of like bars for teenagers of that era.
Mm.
You could go down there and run into other guys that were your age that were into the same games, which that may or may not end up well. Some dudes, might fight or you might, you know. During that era, another one that was actually looked a lot better in terms of graphics, it was hard as fuck, was Blasteroids. It was like Asteroids, but two guys could play it at once and they could join into a single ship. Where one guy was flying and another guy was controlling a turret on it. And they had all the damn asteroids. That was a real good one. We loved that one. Another one from that era was fucking Space Harrier, where you're a dude running who could fly like with a jetpack, and he's got a gun and he's fighting all kinds of weird shit, like the heads from Eastern Island are coming at you and everything.
Or like Zardoz.
Yeah, it's like some damn Zardoz.
Zardoz.
That was a good one too. There's a lot of good. Yeah.
Gramthars said, whatever happened to Jason's girlfriend? Tracy.
Which one?
Tracy.
Oh, somebody sent me a picture of her. Unrecognizable. She got married, and man, I ain't even say nothing, man. I can't remember who that was. I think I brought her up to Steve, and I think it was Steve that sent me a link. He found her and sent me a link to her, and I was like, I just couldn't believe it. She went crazy. They put her in an institution for a little while. She had schizophrenia.
Shit, that sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't her fault. But no, time was not kind to her. But there are some of those girls fucking... Mary Lynn still looks great. You know, and I follow her on Instagram with her shows. She's still doing shows. We're talking about Marilyn Rice Cup. Mary Lynn still looks great. Christy Watson still looks great. Last I saw her. Jody Spears still looked good. Last time I saw her. A lot of those girls still look cute. You know, but they're moms now. You know, just they're living a different kind of life. There was one, man. I'm trying to remember what her name was. She dropped out. She was cute back in the day. She was Bill Olinger's girlfriend. You remember him, that punk rock guy? She dropped out and vanished. But somehow or another, I ran into her again on Facebook. I think through Gene Petrowski. And she hadn't changed a day. She's got full sleeves, cute as hell. Our age, you know. And bunch of kids. And married like a corporate type dude, and like a trophy wife, like a goth trophy wife. At the age of 50. Yeah, looked like a porn star or something. I'm trying to remember what her name was though. You probably remember who. Bill Olinger's ex-girlfriend. She dropped out. She left at like I think she dropped out in the 11th grade. She's like I can't take these people. These people fucking suck. And she left. You might remember her name.
Gramthars said Heidi still looks good, and then says
Heidi's cute.
Jody's dad passed away a few days ago.
Oh, did he?
Saw his name at the Martinsons' funeral home today.
Yeah, Jody was a Texan. She was a cute girl. Her brother was a real thug, but he tried to. Maybe he drank all that down brake fluid when he was in high school. Tried to kill himself, but he snapped out of it. Remember him?
There seems to be better ways of killing yourself than drinking
drink
brake fluid. I mean, you know. I guess that's what's available.
You might remember Bill Olinger's ex. I don't remember what her name was. Been a while. I think it started with a B. First name.
John Gora says the designers of those old arcade games were probably an interesting lot. They are.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they do... wasn't there a series on Netflix called Game Over or something like that that was kind of all about that? I think it was a series. I remember that being good.
There was another one during that same time. Me and Jason were fucking just... We had a damn blood oath, a pact to fucking beat Akari warriors. During that same time, they had one called Narcs, or Narcos. I think
Kind of Aslan just brought that up.
Narcs,
Tom, don't forget the game Narc.
Yeah, okay, I didn't see that. Narcs. Yeah, we were trying to beat that one, too. That one was fucking bizarre. That was 80s as fuck. It was about the crack epidemic and angel dust. And you're like these cops fighting fucking drugged out people who are picking up fucking big-ass fucking dumpsters and throwing them at you, and fucking people that had been mutated into monsters, and... That game was 80s as fuck. But it looked good. The graphics were real good for the time. And then there were some of them that were gang fighting. I don't remember the name of it, though. The whole Streets of Rage. That's what it was called. You had to go out there and fucking fight dudes with their fists. That was 80s as shit. Yeah. Streets of Rage. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Because I kind of feel like that was so prevalent in the 80s movies. Like you had all
without sleeves.
They had all these gangs, and they all had like coordinated costumes and shit like that. And they'd all do like these fucking... It was like West Side Story.
Yeah, West Side Story.
Except West Side Story is actually good.
Yeah.
Sly says, Tom, I did not start sinking until I hit 69 years old.
Yeah. Get on test.
That's what he tells everybody.
Yeah, get on test. You'll be fine. Just inject a bunch of it.
John Gora says, I knew someone who guzzled Clorox. Didn't work.
No.
Why would you want to do that? Like I said, I mean... Gramthars said, I don't remember Bill's ex. Just remember she was a hot punk chick.
Yeah, real hot punk chick. I just don't remember her name.
Well, neither does he.
Bill Olinger and Little What's his name? The other punk rock guy. I don't remember his
Little
name.
what's his name?
Yeah, he was cool too, but I couldn't hang out with him. Nobody could hang out with him. He was so antisocial, he didn't want to hang out with anybody, even if he liked you. He sat next to me in fucking one of my classes and shit. Fucking, and I kind of became friends with him, and he still wouldn't let me hang out with him. And I don't remember that bitch's name was. He was fucking funny as shit. He had a mohawk and fucking combat boots and a leather jacket and shit. It kind of was like a, and even girls liked him, and he wouldn't even go out. He wouldn't even fucking date girls.
Well, he's just really
I
introverted.
don't remember what that is name.
Some people just don't like hanging out with other people. It's okay.
Yeah. He knows who he is.
Well, I would hope so. I think most people know who they are.
No.
I know. I'm just teasing you. It's just the way you said that.
Yeah, he
sounded
knows
really
who he is.
funny.
Talking about Gramthars. Gramthars knows
Yeah, I know.
who he is.
Oh, Sly said drinking. He meant he didn't start drinking until he was 69.
Oh, okay. Right. Bill
spelled it
Olinger
wrong.
was a real cool punk rock dude who's about 6 feet tall. He was handsome and blonde and fucking he knew how to dress and fucking he was like the Ken doll of all the fucking punk rock goth girls. They fucking loved that dude. And he kind of vanished. He vanished off with girls. Never saw that bitch again. Once he got a girlfriend, he vanished. I'm not even sure he graduated. I wasn't at Trenton High for graduation time. I graduated in Brazil. I went back to Brazil. But yeah, but Bill, Steve liked Bill too, but Bill was fucking so wrapped up with those punk rock girls, he would never hang out with guys. He didn't have time. That's
I don't have time.
He didn't have time to hang out with guys.
Male bonding bullshit.
Yeah. I respected his game.
I've got ladies
Respected
to woo.
his game. The game. Yeah, sorry guys, man. Fucking, I can't hang out. I gotta go.
Gramthars said Bill is an English high school teacher in Connecticut now.
Oh, is he? Okay.
There you go. Next Dimension Media says, I had a Commodore 64
Yeah.
and bought a book where you program games using BASIC. Oh, shit. I remember doing that in school.
Yeah.
Old man voice. Back in my day, if you wanted to play video games, you had to code it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sometimes you did.
Commodore 64 had good games though. You could buy some of them. I remember them. I remember my friend had one up in Brazil. He had a Commodore 64. He was an American guy who brought it through with him through customs. And he had some games for it, and I remember that they were good, at least for the time. They were much better than Atari 2600, because that's what it was up against at the time. Another good system was fucking... I wouldn't even mind owning one, okay, was Apple II. And the main game we used to play on that was Wizardry 2.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I loved Wizardry 2. Although there's probably nothing to it today, but I would own that system just to play Wizardry on it, like back in the day. It just had a certain feel to that game.
I remember them starting when I was in 3rd grade. I remember them teaching us BASIC, and we had to learn to program shit like that. Those big ass fucking floppy disks, and
Yeah.
we did we had to code Mad Libs games and shit like that. I remember all of that kind of stuff. That was a long time ago. Sly says, Jenny and Tom, did you guys ever watch the Family TV series, 1976-1989? I don't think so. It sounds familiar, but I don't remember if I ever watched it. John Gora said, hanging out with the guys always led to trouble, just senseless hell raising.
Yeah, well... But that was part of the deal, man. We had fucking a lot of fun, and we were all fucking getting lots of girlfriends. At least me and Steve were. Jason got some, and Mike didn't get a whole lot of girlfriends. He wasn't real confident with women that were in high school. He actually at that time when he was in high school, were going for women that were out of high school and had kids for some reason. He was into this. He was into this single mom thing.
He liked the MILFs.
Yeah, MILFs. But they weren't old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were only like a year.
Well,
or two
I
older than
mean,
him.
people say MILF like that,
Yeah.
but I mean, MILF, that doesn't necessarily imply that they're old. It's just, they just
Right.
have kids.
Yeah, shit. But Mike, he kind of had a confidence problem when he was in high school. But now he's fucking, he's a stud. He ended up getting involved in fucking forensics and law enforcement. I was his best friend, you know, and he saw me go into the military and change some, and he tried to go in the military, didn't make it. He washed out. He was real embarrassed by that. He went back home and started getting into the paramedics and excelled. He ended up owning his own paramedic company. And then he owns his own forensic company working for the police as a contractor. He cleans up crime scenes.
I've heard there's a lot of money in
Yeah.
that, actually.
Yeah. So Mike's a fucking hardened veteran of law enforcement now in terms of in the support thing. Now Mike was always skinny and kind of gangly looking when he was a kid. Man, he's a good looking dude now, and he's fucking buffed out. He looks like the dude from fucking Dead Zone. What's his name?
Who, Christopher Walken?
No, the other guy.
Oh, that guy. Oh, the TV series.
The TV series, yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. He looked like Anthony Michael Hall when he was a kid, and he looked like Anthony Michael Hall when Anthony Michael Hall became in his fucking 30s or 40s. That same kind of transformation. You wouldn't recognize him if you saw him today. But he used to get fucking made fun of in high school, you know, and I felt bad for him because he was a good dude. You know, Gramthars can attest. He was just kind of a skinny guy, and he kind of didn't look real comfortable with himself. He was, though. It's just that it was the way he looked. You know, people treat you a certain way based on your look. They respond to you on how you look. But he became a stud. Got a hot wife and fucking bunch of kids and shit. And fucking business, a lot of money. You know, it's just you can't predict what's going to happen to some dude just by the way he looked in high school.
Well, yeah, because sometimes people change a lot.
They change a lot, yeah.
You know, sometimes they don't. But
yeah. But he looks like Anthony Michael Hall now.
yeah, not like Anthony Michael Hall in The Breakfast Club.
Right. Yeah, he looks like Anthony Michael Hall in The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Fucking Gramthars knows. He'll tell you.
Let me see. All right, so we've been going almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
You ready? You getting kind of tired? I'm
Yeah.
kind of tired and I'm kind of hungry. And
Yeah, well, I'll get something to eat.
I kind of want to watch that Mad God movie before it
Yeah.
gets too late, so I don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Sly's talking about recycling. Yeah. But the thing is with him is I think they wanted to recycle him, but he wasn't in the Army. He was in the Navy. They wanted to recycle him in the Navy, and I think he quit. So then they got rid of him. And he was kind of embarrassed of that. So he came back to civilian world and got into the law enforcement support thing. And I was telling you about how I was a huge Eddie Murphy fan, you know, with Beverly Hills Cop. Well, Mike, the dude I'm telling you about, he was right along with me. Fucking, we would, you know, watch Beverly Hills Cop, fucking, you know, and do the whole fucking Eddie Murphy routines, and really he wanted to be fucking Axel Foley. He did, and that movie, and he became that basically in a way. Not the cop, but you know, a guy who owned a company who supported law enforcement, and that was really Eddie Murphy that did that to him. So it's just weird how life works. That life imitates art. You know.
Well, yeah, if you get like
It's weird.
particularly inspired by something,
Yeah.
like, that's
Yeah.
cool actually.
Yeah.
Danny Rowling said Tom Savini did a great job as the Creeper in the Creepshow series. Yeah, that's right. Just saying, need more of that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of. Well, wasn't he in? They put him in Creepshow 2, which is still like an okay movie, but I didn't really like the animated segments. I wish they would have done like the puppet. You know what I mean? Like they did in the first one. But Kanavatsan says Jenny, the series La Révolution is on Netflix. It's French with subtitles and good. Okay, well I'll have to check that out. We'll have to check that out. Then Dana
We're
Rolling
slowly
said,
falling behind.
watch used cars instead.
Yeah.
We will eventually, but I did kind of want to see that Shudder movie because like I said, a bunch of people have like recommended that to me. So, all right, so we will be back tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Talking about The Last Duel, the Ridley Scott movie.
Yeah.
Because that's the one. And then,
Good movie. You guys haven't seen? Go see it.
Yeah, so like I said, Dermot sent us money and we got it, so we watched it the other night. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. So hopefully you guys have a good weekend up until we see you again. So we will see you guys again tomorrow evening. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Saturday night. Good night.